evening and welcome everyone to the Rejoice Christian Eagles Coaches Show, coming to you again live from the Owasso Coffee Company located at 13720 East 86th Street North in Owasso. Owasso Coffee Company is our Coaches Show sponsor this year, and we'll be coming to you live every Thursday night at 7 o'clock to get you all caught up on all the previous week's activity, the upcoming game, and anything else that might be going on in Rejoice Athletics. And along with our special guests now and then, and just like tonight we have a special guest, I'm Bill Bush, and I'm joined here tonight by my wingman Mark Kirk, the head coach of the Rejoice Christian Eagles, Brent Marley, and tonight's special guest, defensive coordinator Matt Eckel. So, gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Rejoice Christian Eagles Coaches Show.
On a very cool night.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes.
Tired of the heat. I'm sure the players will echo that sentiment.
The players, the coaches.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you've got all the equipment on. Oh no, wait, they're the ones where. Oh. Before we talk about last Friday's game and tomorrow night's game, I'd like to introduce tonight's special guest, Coach Matt Eckel. Welcome, Coach. And if you would, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, your coaching career, your family faith, and then maybe your path to Rejoice.
Okay. Well, I grew up in a small town down southeast Oklahoma called Quinton. Class A ball at the time. We were playing 11-man. Unfortunately, town shrunk down. They're playing 8-man now, but played 11-man ball and didn't play college ball. I was just your typical, pretty decent high school Class A football player, I guess. But just loved the sport. My dad was a big influence on me growing up. We talked football all the time, and that was kind of our life growing up. We spent a lot of it around football, and so really wanted to go into coaching when I went off to college, and have been doing it for 18 years now. Made a few stops at a few different places. I started off coaching 8th grade football right over here at Owasso way back in 2004, 2005, and
That's why your name sounds so familiar.
okay. Okay. Went back home and did my first stint as a defensive coordinator when I was 25, 26 years old in my hometown of Quinton for a few years. And then my wife and I, of course I met her, got married, and we wanted to move back up into the Tulsa area. I'd really enjoyed it here when I'd lived here before, so we moved back up here, and got hired at Glenpool High School, worked there for Coach Steve Edwards, who recently went in the Hall of Fame. He was a great influence on me, great mentor, and worked there for a few years, and then went over to Berry Hill High School on the west side. It was a great place to be. They love their football over there, and was very fortunate to come across this opening and start talking with Coach Marley, and God's plan worked out, and very excited. Perfect fit for us. My wife actually works in ministry. She's a pastor for Life Church. So that was a direction we certainly had talked about over the last few years. And everything, like I said, God's plan just works out perfectly. And here we are today.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
always does. Yeah.
That's right.
It's our plans to kind of have a little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good, and we're glad to have you here. I know we were watching over on the sidelines against Luther, and I think sometimes the officials can maybe kind of get on some people's nerves from time to time. And I will tell you, as I used to officiate high school football, you got to be in shape as a high school football official if you're going to call 8-man football.
Right,
because it not like unlike the Beggs game a couple of weeks ago, it's a track meet every single week.
It's
so
certainly a track meet.
Well, so Coach, we were able to put one, and welcome to Rejoice, and
Thank
looking
you.
for big things. We put one in the win column Friday night with 42-20 victory over the Luther Lions. And you look at the score and you think to yourself that, the Eagles really took care of business. They won by 3 touchdowns, but I mean, if it wasn't for the turnovers, I mean, all 20 of their points were scored on offensive turnovers. I mean, it was after an offensive turnover they went down and scored. And I'm not saying they wouldn't have scored some points without some help, but I mean, what's your assessment? I mean, Mark and I, we commented on the first half how we should be up by 28 points.
Yeah,
I mean.
It could have very easily been much more of a runaway in the first half. I mean, the defense played lights out. The offense was everything was clicking. Everything was going really well except for those turnovers. And you got to expect that. Often, it's just going to happen. But man, it sure seemed like it happened an awful lot on Friday night.
Absolutely, it did. It was like you said, it was we felt like at halftime we had survived a storm. We had given them everything that they. I take that. I mean, they did have a couple deep balls that, you know, one-on-one. We got to make those plays. But we're sold out to what we're doing. We like our scheme and what we're doing, and we're going to give up a play every now and then. But offensively, we can't put the ball on the ground. If we take, you know, if we give up a play every now and then defensively, it's going to happen in this game. But offensively, if we just took care of the football that first half, I think that it would have been maybe in the books at halftime. But we kept them around, and credit to them and Luther and their kids and coaches, and they played hard and stayed in the game and did what they needed to do to get those turnovers and to be there. And so it was one of those things that's just, like we told these kids at the beginning of the year, we've got to learn to win again consistently, but we've also got to learn how to start. And we've got to learn how to get on top of people, and when we have the ability to, and stay there. We were hoping to get some more JV kids in Friday night, and I think after the game you look back and it could have happened and should have happened. But we did not allow that because we didn't take care of business. Played better in the second half, but we still had 2 turnovers.
Well, and that's what I was going to tell you, because like going in, we got all the way to the 4-yard line, no points. Even a missed field goal, so you're thinking, oh, dang, going all the way down. So there's another missed opportunity of, 7 points going our way, or at least 3. What do you tell them at halftime? I mean, because obviously you're going in, and the game shouldn't be tied. Yeah. Can you say? Yeah, you can say what you told them at halftime, and
I'm
sure it was.
What do you think, Coach Eckel?
I'm sure it was a calm demeanor, right?
Can we talk about what happened at halftime?
Some things might need to be left, in the locker room.
What was the overall message to your team at halftime? Maybe not exactly what you told them, but
okay. It was pretty much, guys, we're a lot better than this. Very calm, and no, it was.
Guys, you're doing good.
Yeah,
you're good.
No, it was really that you're everything they've got, you're giving it to them. And I told them this: if you want to lose this game, just go out and hand it to them. I mean, seed time, harvest time is a biblical principle. It's in Genesis, and if you don't sow the seed to win, you don't deserve to win.
Yep.
And we didn't sow that seed in the first half. We sowed the seed to keep them hanging around. And so, it was one of those things that if you go back out and do it again, this game is in jeopardy. Because, I told a couple of the kids on Friday in pregame warm-up that, hey, you know who's going to win this game? We are, Coach. What do you mean? The team who plays the best tonight. Okay, there's a winner and a loser. That's a reality of every contest. And not always the best team wins. It's the team that plays the best. I love our kids being confident. I always want to be confident, but I don't want to slide over into arrogance. And I want us to respect everybody, but fear nobody. And it's one of those things we talk about. But looking back at halftime, the week was flashing through my head, the whole week. And I just felt like this is a great opportunity to remind them of some things that how we practiced, some thoughts, some things that were said while we were meeting, just like we got this, or just kind of that attitude of, you know what, well, you hadn't played yet. And so they get a vote too. And sometimes kids forget that. The guys in the other jerseys get a vote. Mm-hmm. And so we definitely needed to, I think, looking back to it, may have been good for us. We're not clicking on all cylinders by no means, and you look at some of the numbers we're doing, even offensively. Defensively, I thought we played great too. I mean, one of those touchdowns was a gift to them that they got to return on that interception. So, beyond that, 14 points, and offensively we had some good numbers, but we can't let people hang around because better people will be able to put you away.
Well, I know Mark and I, we like to say we choose a player of the game. And Cale Marley had a monster first half. You asked me, whenever I told you we were naming him player of the game, you said, based on what? I'm thinking, he had a great first half. Yeah.
My kids better earn it. I'm not.
And they earned it. I mean, and Chance was right there. But I mean, with the turnovers and stuff, I mean, Cale just played. I mean, I thought as far as on the defensive side in the first half, and Coach Eckel, you can comment on this. I mean, out of his 11 tackles, 8 of them were, I think, in the first half.
Well, and the other thing that just amazed me about it was so many of them were open field tackles.
Right. Yeah, downhill.
As a defensive player, that's the hardest thing in the world is when you're one-on-one with a guy back out in the field is squaring up on that guy, not letting him get past you and making that tackle.
And it's especially impressive, to us it was anyway, that it's a freshman doing that. This isn't a seasoned veteran, but it's a guy that's going out there doing form tackling. And really, you know, we gifted them 14 points in the first half, but if that defense doesn't play like it did, and that was in our opinion, they could have been in the lead a couple of times. I mean, just simply because, you know, we caused some turnovers and we caused some 3-and-outs. Did we win the 3-and-outs this week?
Yes.
There you go. So I know that's always important. So, Coach Eckel, what do you say to your defenders? I mean, because they played a decent first half, but man, they turned it on in the second half.
Well, what we talked about when we went back and watched the film was the mistakes that we did made when we gave up some plays early. They were all pre-snap mistakes. We weren't focused like we needed to be when they were coming to the line of scrimmage. So, you know, it's one of those those are issues we have to address and fix, but they're somewhat simple fixes as well. But yeah, I agree. You know, Kel was just all over the field. It was something we worked hard over these last couple of weeks on our run fits, and we had some pretty good run fits. And when we've got a couple of safeties and Kel and Josh that'll really come downhill and tackle people, it really makes our defense very sound, and they certainly showed it. And I feel the same way. I mean, it amazes me as a freshman too. Is you know, as physical and as good a tackler as he is, and we see that in practice. So I don't want to say it didn't come as a surprise to me, because I do see it in practice, and Coach Johnson has those guys coached up. So it came to fruition on the field. He had a great game.
Absolutely.
He wasn't the only. You know, there was quite a few other guys that actually had some really good performances out there, but really one of the things I think that Bill and I really helped, or we thought was just really a good thing for the night, was just the way the entire defense played together, especially that second half.
Right.
Especially that second half, and just really shut everything down. And you know, the turnovers are going to happen, like we talked about earlier. And even one of those turnovers, you think back on that one interception, it was just kind of a tip drill, right? It was it's one of those kind of things. Just it's a 1 in a million shot to come off the hands and into the waiting, you know, defender standing there. So those things are going to happen, but it's how they respond to that. And I thought they did come back in. They did not get their head down. They came back in and they fought their way all the way back, you know, across the field every time. So once again, I think the resilience of the team really stood out, and I was very pleased overall. If I could have given the entire defense probably player of the game, I was pulling for that. Yeah.
So, Coach, when you talk to Chance, I mean, obviously you have to mention to him, hey, you can't put the ball on the ground. You know, don't if you're going to throw it away, throw it away. I mean, there was an interception that was he's backpedaling, and you know they get the interception. How do you settle him down? Because he came out in the second half and played great ball. How do you settle him down at halftime and saying, you know, take a deep breath, or I mean, what do you say to him?
Well, for him, he's such a competitor. We don't need him to do anything special. Just be you. Don't do anything extra, because you just being you is going to have, you know, a 500-yard offense night possibly week in and week out. And so, you know, we had a good, not so much at halftime, but this week we had a, you know, good talk the other morning in my office, and I just was able to, you know, remind him that him taking you know, on a pull, for instance, if we put the ball on the ground on a mesh, if we drop the ball and get on it, or we take a sack or whatever for a 3-yard, and it's 2nd and 13.
Yep.
That's okay.
It's better than not having the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go get a first down, and if we ever have to punt, we have to punt, but we cannot give them the ball back. So, you know, just to be more decisive with pulls, if you're going to pull it. Quarterbacks, you typically say, when in doubt, give it. With him, we want to, when in doubt, keep it, and just kind of giving him some directives of more just defining when it is a close, because we do a lot of read, a lot of pull read, a lot of power read, a lot of zone read, different things, and he's got some different keys, whether he's reading the end man on the line, or he's reading the play side defensive end, or he's reading the backside inside linebacker. He's got the green light to pull that ball. So when we do that, we can't be in indecision mode sometimes, and and we're doing a good job riding the mesh, and our backs are doing a great job carrying out the fakes. And he's doing a great job when he does choose to pull it, and we don't put it on the ground. So he just had a rough first half, and he recovered. I was proud of him. Told him after the game that I loved him and proud of the way he came back and competed. I had the one interception. That is from a kid that just doesn't want to give up. And so if I had to choose,
I mean, we're railing on Chance, but Chance had a great game.
He had a great game. I mean, you look at his numbers. Chance had 204 yards rushing, and he had, where's it at? 244 passing. Yeah. So I mean, a kid has 450 yards of offense and accounts for 5 TDs. That's how good he is. I mean,
that's when Mark and we were going back and forth on him, or but I thought, it's really no contest without the turnovers.
Yep.
But I mean, and against a good team like that's coming up tomorrow night, you can't gift them things like that. And so again, like you say, it's good that you had the talk and because obviously Mark and we have a lot of baseball analogies because we got a lot of baseball background. Yeah, it's just like a kid, throwing strikes. You're up there saying, "Come on, throw strikes." And, I mean, Mark's son asked him one time, he goes, "Dad, do you not think that's what I'm trying to do? Throw strikes, And you're telling, just don't turn the ball over. Well, I didn't give it to him on purpose,
Right.
And sometimes it's because, like you said, they're just trying that to go. They get that extra yard or just make that extra play, but. Sometimes it can come back to bite you too.
Yeah,
so
it did.
Just want to remind everybody we're here in the friendly confines of the Owasso Coffee Company, Ed Long and Company, and we appreciate them sponsoring the Coaches Show this year. We want to encourage all of you to come down. I've heard that they're going to have their pumpkin spice whatever, whether it's lattes and everything else. They have it year round, but it seems like this time of the year that everybody wants to come and get that, and they've got. If you come down and look, it's not just coffee and drinks. They've got muffins and scones and cookies and things that are all the sugar's been taken out of it. I'm kidding, but it wouldn't taste good if they did that. Apple cider. So you guys make sure that we're going to be down here every Thursday night. They're sponsoring this every Thursday night. They're also we got to mention them quite a few times a game. They're our touchdown sponsor this year. We hope to get giving them that credit lots of times because we want to score a lot. But if you want to stay caught up on Rejoice football, this is where you want to be on Thursday nights because
it's definitely hot chocolate time again.
That's right.
Officially tonight.
Yeah, that's right. It's fall. It feels good. This feels like football weather. That 99-degree weather doesn't feel like football weather. No. So, yeah. Well, before we talk about, because I know this is close to you guys as coaches, but before we talk about tomorrow's night's game against Salina Wildcats. Coach, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about the Rise Above jersey, the number 20 Rise Above jersey, because we have to find out every week who's wearing the number 20 jersey. And I know there's even, we'll go just like when we were on the road last week, they're thinking, okay, who's number 20?
Mm-hmm.
He's not on our roster, it's blank. But tell us a little bit about that. I think it's pretty cool thing that you guys do.
Will Lamley was a young man that played for us last year. A lot of people have heard his story, that his sophomore year started losing his eyesight. And wound up through multiple tests. It was Leber's optic neuropathy, hereditary neuropathy syndrome or something like that. It was his optic nerves basically were going pale, and so had to give up his car, give up baseball, give up a lot of things that kids love, and baseball was really his first love, but he didn't want to quit football. He could still make out like the blur of the ball in different colored jerseys, not really define things, but so we put him at nose. He played nose guard for us and started a few games last year. But overall, what was so impressive about Will is when adversity came in his life, he pressed in and he was the most influential person in our locker room, always had the best attitude, brought it every day. So what, now what, kind of deal. Truly rise above. And that's what Rise Above is all about, our mascot being the eagle. The eagle's, God's choice of bird. And God uses the eagle throughout his word over and over. And so with that being our mascot is very fitting. But what an eagle does, and our players will go to the elementary classrooms here in a couple weeks and explain this at Eagle Pals. But they always explain the mascot when they go to every a few Fridays a year. The varsity players are assigned to go to an elementary classroom and speak, and they'll talk about the eagle. And so when storms come in the natural, a lot of birds or species will run from it or fly from it, fly away for safety. An eagle will go face the storm and go head on. And the forewinds of the storm that are powerful, the eagle has very strong wings, and it uses those forewinds to lift it up, and it elevates it up above the storm, and then it hovers up above in peace while the storms are down below. And so it's just so fitting to use that mascot and to teach our kids about that, because in life, God doesn't tell us if you have tribulation. He says when you have tribulation, to be of good cheer. And so you're going to have things come. You're going to have adversity come. And Will did, and he lived it right out in front of us. And he didn't let it be a hindrance, but he let it really catapulted him, and it became more of a mission for him, for his light and his witness. And so what we decided to do because of his example, you know what, that jersey, Will wore number 20. He's now at the University of Arkansas. He's a manager for the Razorbacks football team. We're going to travel that jersey for the one player that throughout the week has given great effort, done a great job, maybe a little bit from the previous game, what they did, and just who's carried themselves well, represented our team well. They've earned that jersey and will wear that jersey. Now, obviously, some guys are linemen and have to wear an ineligible number. So if a lineman gets it, like Logan Linnell when he had it that week at Cashin, he just will carry the jersey with him, put it in his locker pregame, you know, and we announce it to the team and to you guys and all that.
Yeah, and so when do you make that announcement? Is that on Thursdays, on Fridays? When do you guys pick your Rise Above?
The coaches have talked usually Thursdays after practice or Fridays, kind of. I mean,
we have this week's yet?
I already have, I already do. My only deal is I haven't consulted the coaches yet this
and
week.
You haven't, so the player doesn't know.
The
so they
player
don't
doesn't know. It's
Okay.
funny, he just texted me as we were
The
sitting
player
here
that's
about
gonna
something
receive
else.
it,
Yeah. I told him after practice I needed to talk to him.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and say it on here if
Okay,
you want
yeah.
to. So,
Yeah.
so this week we had a young man that didn't have his best game last week. So we've got a senior playing with him, and they're going back and forth a little bit on the defensive side. But Kendrick Carricker's had a great week of practice, and he is like picking it up a notch because he wants to stay on the field.
Yeah.
So anyway, he started for us last year at Bandits, playing Bandit this year again, starting, and he's just had a great week of practice, and he's been very competitive. And so anyway, Kendrick Carricker, who's normally number 29.
Will be 20 tomorrow.
Will be 20 tomorrow night.
Because he's in a linebacker position, so he can play in that slot with the 20.
Yep.
And for you folks that don't know it, I mean, there are rules on who can wear what number, whether you're in, whether you're a lineman or whether, so quarterback can't wear 57, because he's in a skill position in the tailback position, so that when we talk about you can't wear it, that's the reason why. So we finally get a home game. Getting the friendly confines of home.
It had to happen eventually.
Yeah, it had to. Well, that's where I'm wearing my blue, my home blues. I was going to wear the white, and I thought, no, we're home finally. I'm going to wear the blues. So, so Salina's coming to town tomorrow night. Big district opening game. And these kids for the first time are going to get to run out of the new Gibbs facility onto the field. They got to be stoked about that and playing at home. Now, was Beggs a synthetic surface?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yep.
So we know that we like to show off our speed, and that's obviously easier to do on a synthetic surface. You get to play in front of their own fans. What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like tomorrow night, Coach Eckel? For those guys.
Well, being new, I was wondering if we were ever going to play a home game.
It's a really nice stadium. You'll like it.
No, you asked me a couple of weeks ago when we play at home. I said, Coach, we don't do that.
Yeah,
That's just for practice.
looks.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's going to be electric. I told Coach Marley a couple of weeks ago we had our first J-High game against Victory Christian over there, and 7th and 8th at 6:30. And I turned around and looked. I said, I've never seen this many people at a junior high football game. And the crowd was loud and into it. And so I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night. Of course, being on defensive side of the ball, I like that noise. So I'm real excited. I'm looking forward to it.
So, Coach, have any of the players come up and said anything about tomorrow night? Can you feel a vibe, a little bit of a kind of a nervous energy type thing, first game at home?
Definitely, and being homecoming, and there's a parade
Oh,
playing
that's
tomorrow.
right.
homecoming.
I didn't realize that.
A lot of stuff planned. I really think that there hasn't been much distractions, though, this week, besides some dress-up stuff at school. And, tomorrow will be a little bit of opportunity for us to, hopefully stay focused but enjoy the parade and do things for festive things for school spirit. But, no, they're hungry to play at home in front of their home crowd and the new facility. And, it's just we're excited. The weather shifted. The weather shifting helps everybody out, right?
Right,
Everybody gets in a little bit better mood and can breathe
Fishermen
easier.
and everybody.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow night's opponent, the Salina Wildcats. They stepped up a class and easily beat 3A Locust Grove 36-0. Then they went toe-to-toe against an undefeated 3A Inola team and lost 19-12. And then they easily beat or did they beat Inola?
They lost.
They lost Inola. And then they got rid of Fairland, 40-0. So they've got, you can obviously see where these guys can keep people from scoring, but they can also, we're opening up district play tomorrow night, and they're a formidable opponent. I mean, it's not somebody that we're going to be able to sleepwalk through.
No, they're a good football team. They're coached very well. Coach Fowler does a great job. He's been around for a long time and knows the game, and he's new there. They were pretty good last year, and they were a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and now they're, sophomores and juniors.
Right.
They're going to return a lot. They're going to be good again next year. And they offense the football well. They can throw the ball. They can nickel and dime you. They run the ball well. They got two good backs. They're good up front. They're physical. They play hard. They've got heart. I mean, there's not much that they don't do. I mean, they fit a lot of different categories.
Well, it looks like, they're definitely used to scoring points.
Yep.
So it looks like that. But it's a balanced offense then. So
I'll let Coach Eckel
yeah,
chime in on the offense.
what do you think, Coach?
How you
Eckel,
gonna
how you
stop
can prepare for this?
Certainly as far as the opponents we've previously faced, this is outside of Beggs. This is the most physical team we've played other than Beggs. What I think as a defensive coach, what kind of makes me nervous about them is that they're very content with the 3 and 4 yard plays. It doesn't have to be a home run ball. They're fine with taking a 3 yard run on first down and a 3 yard pass on second down and setting themselves up for a good position on third down. And very physical. They got one offensive lineman, a tackle that just gets after it. If he was 6'4", 260 pounds, he would have college coaches knocking on his door every night. And they've got a fullback that really loves to come hit people. And I mean, I think that's the thing that jumped off the screen when we started watching film on them is these guys. I mean, they really like the physical part of football. And so, we're going to have to be able to take those punches and hit back. That's for sure. It's going to be a physical contest, and they have our attention, and that's the main thing. I think the kids are respectful of them. They understand that this team is just one score away from being undefeated right now. So really looking forward to just seeing how the kids show up and play tomorrow night.
How's their speed?
Speed-wise, as compared to some of the other teams we played, I wouldn't say they're as fast. They're more of a physical kind of 3-4 yard team, but they do have a couple kids that if they can get behind they could cause some problems. But I would say their backs are more power backs. They're stout kids, strong kids.
Do they go spread, or are they try and stay pretty tight?
Yeah, they'll actually kind of formation-wise, they do a lot of things. They'll spread it out and sling the ball around a little bit, and then they'll go kind of some more 20 personnel and get two backs in the backfield and really come right at you. And so it'll be a good contest.
It sounds like you'll be ready for between the tackles or spreads.
All of it, yes.
And so obviously they haven't let up a lot of points. How are you going to score on them? I mean, what do you do offensively? What's going to work against them?
Don't turn the ball over.
Well,
I mean, that's
and then that's obviously a key because, like you say, it's not the same team, and you can't. I mean, they expect to be pretty tough.
There's a couple things that Coach Willis and Coach Barnett, and offensive guys, Coach Sanchez, Coach Christian, that we Sunday night in our meeting that we've seen on film. There's some things that we feel like we like that I don't know if I'd say it on here, but. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
but,
whether it worked or not.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things I feel good about going into tomorrow if we can take care of the ball. But they have shown in some certain sets and different things it's going to be very difficult to throw the football. And in other sets it's going to be very difficult to run the ball. And so we're going to have to formation and try to gain an advantage numbers-wise, leverage-wise, and just kids make plays. We got to have kids step up like Colton Abel did last week. I thought Colton Abel, at tight end, had a great game at Luther. And
rumbling, bumbling on down.
Yes.
I mean, there were several long gains that he had.
It's hard to account for stuff like that when a guy's inline blocking for 1,001, 1,002 and then slips out in the flats and you dump it to him and guys lose people. So we're going to have to be, misdirection and deceptive and mix it up.
So who's got to step up? I'm going to ask both of you. Who's going to have a good game tomorrow night? You got the keys to victory, but who's going to have a good game on offense, and who's going to have a good game on defense?
I think defensively, we're going to need another big night from Caleb Woods. Having him back last week helped tremendously.
Yeah, he did. Blogging up the middle.
Yeah, he's our anchor up front. He sets the edge. He's really physical, and he's going to have to get after it. And then I think our inside and outside backers, again, like every week when you play a physical team, they're really going to have to be right on their fits. And coverage-wise, we like to challenge people. We like to get in people's faces. And that bodes well for us this week because they will take those 3 and 4 yard routes, and so we don't want to give those up. We want to get up and challenge people, and so our secondary guys are they've done a good job doing that so far. So we're looking forward to that. But certainly I think at the line of scrimmage is really where we're going to have to be very physical and get after them.
Isn't that the way it's won every time?
Oh, yeah. It's blocking and tackling.
In the
It's pretty
trenches.
important, and those guys up front, yeah.
So, Coach, who are you going to depend on tomorrow night to have a good game?
I'm going to stay on the same theme of the guy that touches it every play, and I think that with him and the backs, if we don't turn the ball over, we can put the sticker on the wall for the first time this year that we've had less turnovers than our opponent.
Yeah, that's
Then
That's not good
I
to
like our
lose that each
chances
week, yeah.
if we can not turn the ball over. But and of course, you want your guys outside to make big plays, and offensive line got to play well. But I just go back to the simple fact between the quarterback and backs, if we can take care of the football.
Yep. Mark, any closing thoughts?
I haven't got to see Salina play. I know that we saw him, it's seen him in past years, but I really like what I'm seeing out of Rejoice so far. I love the way the resilience out on the field when they have had adversity because we've had it the last couple of games, and they've just fought their way back and never got their head down and continued to play their type of football. And to me, I mean, that's an indicator of a winning team.
Yep.
It's just it starts between the ears, and I think that's where they've got it. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing.
Well, and I didn't get to see a whole lot of the game last year because I was doing radio. That was the game you had to miss, and I also was trying to do the video. And
Is that game?
let me tell you, or I was trying to do the online Facebook Live last, and then you can't do it.
I heard it was impossible.
It's virtually impossible. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. You've been watching the Rejoice Christian Eagles Coaches Show, and okay. Oh, we've got a question from a viewer. We got time for it. Okay, I'll go ahead.
Pastor Casey Carricker wants to know what has been the biggest surprising team across the state in 2A football so far.
Oh, good question. So
early, but-
So Pastor Carricker wants to know who is the most surprising team in 2A. These guys feel in 2A football this year. So, Coach, I mean, either one of you guys want to chime in on that? Who's been surprising? I mean, you've kind of looked at some of the scores and seeing who's there.
I'll say a team in our district that might be a little under people's radar right now because they've lost some games, but they've played some really good opponents.
West of here?
Is Sperry.
Yeah.
Sperry is taking on some really good teams and playing pretty well, and so
And they're stepping up in the class in every one of those.
I think they're about to start winning some ball games, and
Yeah.
it'll make things interesting.
So,
I would say, that's a tough question, but everybody knew Jones was going to be good. But the way Jones almost beat Lincoln Christian a couple weeks ago, and then just they're really good. So they may be better than what people thought. And so probably
Yeah, and
Jones.
actually, that kind of mirrors what the folks at Luther were saying because we talked to them about the Jones game.
Yep.
They're saying
they're pretty good.
They're salty.
Yeah. So there you go, Pastor Carricker. That's a question that was asked, and you guys are encouraged to do that next week's show, or you can send them in ahead of time. You can send Coach Marley through the website, the Facebook website, and so make sure that you questions that these guys, no math questions, or we don't want to have to go do some algebra or
Calculus.
nothing
Or
like
you
that.
could come here and ask them in person as well.
That's what we'd like for you to do. We
Yeah.
encourage you guys to come down next week. Owasso Coffee Company, they close at 7, but they stay
just
open
kidding.
until, they're just
They're just
kidding on
kidding.
Thursday nights. So it's open until we get done here. Usually we try to wrap up about 7:30. So come on down next week and make it an atmosphere that's going to be fun for the coaches show. So they're located at 13720 East 86th Street North, right down here just across from the softball field, Owasso High School softball field. So, and come down during the week. We really want to encourage you guys to come by and let these guys know how much you appreciate them sponsoring Rejoice Athletics TV. So make sure you, like I say, come by. Mark and I will be, again, at home tomorrow night up in the press box, our friendly confines.
Inside a press box.
Inside a press box, which will be air conditioned or heated, whatever we need. And you can catch that tomorrow night on Rejoice Athletics TV on the YouTube channel. And then this show will be replayed before tomorrow night. So, and homecomings tomorrow night.
Oh,
And they
okay.
will broadcast homecoming. So all you parents that want to see the homecoming, it will be broadcasted. All the gallantry and everything. So everybody come out there, pageantry and everything. Make sure you come out and see all that.
This is kind of cool. It's a homecoming, and it's the first home game, so it's truly
It's truly a homecoming game.
Coming home, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, for my wingman, Mark Kirk, and the man at the controls, Todd Witten, I'm Bill Bush, and also for Coach Marley and Coach Echo, I'm Bill Bush, and you've been watching the Rejoice Christian Eagles Coaches Show from on the Rejoice Athletics TV channel. Good night, God bless, and go Eagles.
For helping us prepare this event. And now, without further delay, we are proud to present to you the 2021-2022 Rejoice Christian School Football Homecoming Court. The freshman football homecoming attendant is Miss Maddie Lee James. Maddie is the daughter of Ross and Leanne James. She has attended Rejoice for 5 years. Maddie enjoys running track as well as playing club, beach, and school volleyball. Maddie's favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And I said, Here am I, send me." Miss Maddie James. Maddie is being escorted this evening by senior Samuel Bauer Armentrout. Samuel is the son of Stacy Radar and Andrew Armentrout. He has attended Rejoice for 7 years. Samuel has played football for 11 years. Samuel enjoys playing football and hanging out with his friends. Samuel's favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my right hand. Senior Samuel Armentrout. The sophomore football homecoming attendant is Miss Ava Blair Breeze. Ava is the daughter of Nick and Deidre Breeze. Ava has attended Rejoice for 13 years and has cheered for 7 years. In her free time, Ava enjoys playing tennis and hanging out with friends and family. Ava's favorite Bible verse is Psalms 55:22. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be forsaken. Miss Ava Breeze. Ava is being escorted this evening by senior Stockton Glenn Ryan. Stockton is the son of Alan and Jennifer Ryan. He is in his 6th year at Rejoice and has played football for 6 years at Rejoice. Stockton enjoys playing sports, hanging out with friends, and being outdoors. Stockton's favorite verse is Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Senior Stockton Ryan. The junior football homecoming attendant is Miss Hannah Mae Carl. Hannah is the daughter of James and Luana Carl. Hannah has attended Rejoice for 14 years and has been a football trainer for 3 years. Hannah enjoys being involved in drama and playing soccer. Hannah's favorite Bible verse is John 3:30. He must become greater, I must become less. Miss Hannah Carl. Hannah is being escorted this evening by senior Drake Anthony Fox. Drake is the son of Michelle and Austin Fox. He has attended Rejoice for 5 years and played football for all 5 years. Drake enjoys traveling, fishing, playing football and soccer, and spending time with friends and family. Drake's favorite Bible verse is Psalms 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. Senior Drake Fox. The flower girl for our homecoming festivities tonight will be first grader Miss Addison Grace Cooper. Addison is the daughter of David and Ashley Cooper. Addison has attended Rejoice for 2 years. Addison enjoys cheerleading, swimming, gymnastics, dancing, and drawing. When Addison grows up, she wants to be a teacher. Addison's favorite Bible verse is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whomsoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Miss Addison Cooper. The crown bearer for tonight's homecoming festivities is first grader Isaac Martin. Isaac is the son of Travis and Carolina Martin. Isaac has attended Rejoice for 2 years. Isaac enjoys playing basketball, building Legos, and family movie nights. When Isaac grows up, he wants to be a soldier. His favorite Bible verse is Ephesians 6:17. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is God's Word. Mr. Isaac Martin. And now for the 2021 Senior Football Homecoming Queen candidates. Our first senior homecoming queen candidate is Miss Kristen Elaine Anderson. Kristen is the daughter of Scott and Dina Anderson. She has attended Rejoice for 7 years. Kristen enjoys hanging out with friends, being involved in her youth group, being on the executive board, and being a K-5 aftercare teacher at the elementary school. Kristen's favorite Bible verse is Psalms 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Miss Kristen Anderson. Kristen is being escorted this evening by senior homecoming king candidate Cannon William Brown. Cannon is the son of George and Lori Brown. He has attended Rejoice for 3 years, and he has played football at Rejoice all 3 of those years. Cannon enjoys working out, playing sports, fishing, and hanging out with friends. Cannon's favorite Bible verse is Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Senior Cannon Brown. Our second queen candidate is Miss Taylor Michelle Talon. Taylor is the daughter of Stan and Lori Talon. She has attended Rejoice for 13 years. She has been a football trainer for 1 year and cheered for 5 years. Taylor enjoys being senior class vice president, being involved in NHS, and being on the varsity cheer squad. Taylor's favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Miss Taylor Talon. Taylor is being escorted this evening by senior homecoming king candidate Logan Vincent Linnell. Logan is the son of Darren and Angie Linnell. He has attended Rejoice for 15 years and has played football for 5 years. Logan enjoys playing football, hanging out with friends, and bowling in his free time. Logan's favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Senior Logan Linnell. Our next queen candidate is Miss Chandler Jo Thompson. Chandler is the daughter of Rick and Teresa Thompson. She has attended Rejoice for 15 years. Chandler enjoys being involved in the Rejoice Drama Department, her church worship team, and the Rejoice Worship Arts class. Chandler's favorite Bible verse is Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Miss Chandler Thompson. Chandler is being escorted this evening by senior homecoming king candidate Colton Steele Abel. Colton is the son of Terry Richardson and Mark Abel. He has attended Rejoice for 15 years and played football for 9 years. Colton enjoys hunting, fishing, and playing football and hanging out with friends. Colton's favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Senior Colton Abel. The final senior homecoming queen candidate is Miss Emmeline Kate Witten. Emma is the daughter of Todd and Carrie Witten. She has attended Rejoice for 7.5 years. In her free time, Emma enjoys playing piano, singing, being in drama, and skiing. Emma's favorite Bible verse is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Miss Emmeline Witten. Emma is being escorted this evening by senior homecoming king candidate Caden Lee Marley. Caden is the son of Brent and Misty Marley. He has attended Rejoice for 7 years and has played football for all 7 of those years. Caden enjoys playing linebacker, hunting, fishing, watching movies, and eating fried chicken. Caden's favorite Bible verse is 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Senior Caden Marley. Assisting with tonight's homecoming are alumni Robert Dobbins and Jensen McCain. Robert and Jensen graduated from Rejoice in 2021. Robert is attending Oklahoma Baptist University and is majoring in global marketplace engagement. Jensen is attending Rogers State University and is majoring in medical molecular biology. Alumni Robert Dobbins and Jensen McCain.
And now, for your 2021-2022 football homecoming king and queen, Mr. Cannon Brown and Miss Emma Witten. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to your Rejoice King and Queen of the homecoming event here at Rejoice.
We would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of our guests, and a special welcome goes out to our visiting RCS alumni. If you are a graduate of Rejoice Christian School, please stand so that we might recognize you at this time. Please give our alumni a very special round of applause. The OSSAA's vision for sportsmanship is built on expectations. Expectations that the school community, administrators, teachers, coaches, students, and patrons strive for displaying only positive behavior and good sportsmanship in everything they do at all interscholastic contests. As educators, we have the unique opportunity to teach the value of discipline, dignity, integrity,
good evening, and welcome to Rejoice Christian Eagles Football. I'm Bill Bush, along with my wingman Mark Kirk, and we're coming to you live tonight from the friendly confines of Rejoice Christian Stadium, where the Eagles will be taking on the Class 2A 8 district opponent, Salina Wildcat, in tonight's contest to open up district play. It is homecoming here at Rejoice, and we're going to pause here for probably about 2 minutes for prayer and for the national anthem.
Pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful Oklahoma weather tonight for this game. We thank you for these players and coaches that they get to come and compete in a game that we love. We pray that you keep them safe and free from injury. May our actions and character honor you in all that we do tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
As I was saying, it's homecoming here tonight, and congratulations to Emma Witten and Cannon Brown, your homecoming king and queen this evening. Had all of the pageantry and everything before the game started instead of doing it at halftime, which I think is a good thing, Mark, because
It's a little hard. It's a little hard when you're a player coming out at halftime.
yeah, and then have to get your mind back
yeah,
into the
you're
game mode.
dirty and sweaty and everything besides that too.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of cool being here though, considering it's our first home game of
First home game.
2021.
Yeah. Well, Salina enters tonight's game with a record of 2-1, shutting out their first opponent, Class 3A Grove, 36-0. Then they lost to the always tough Class 3A Inola. I'm trying to remember what Inola's name. I used to know.
Longhorns.
Is it the Longhorns?
Is it Longhorns?
I think
Isn't
it
it
is.
Longhorns? I think it's
something like
Longhorns.
that. But they lost them by a touchdown, 19-12, before they easily dispatched Class A Fairland last week, 35-8. The Eagles come into tonight's contest with a 2-1 record, coming off of a nice 42-20 road victory over the Luther Lions. But Mark, as we talked about last week, and a little with Coach Marley, Coach Eckel, it really shouldn't even be as close as what the final score was.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it could have been a blowout. We had a few miscues here and there, but once again, Rejoice came back and they really showed their resilience and showed the maturity that I think really was gained by last year. A lot of these players getting so much experience last year. They did not get down. They went right after it.
Well, and we know, just like it was last year, it was a close game last year. Salina is a formidable opponent, and we just can't have the kind of numbers that you were talking about, the turnover numbers against them. Coach Marley said that was one of the columns that they have not won yet this year, and that's the turnover margin. And you gotta be able to win that column, or it's going to be a long night against Salina.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to give them freebies. If you give freebies to a good team, it can come back and bite you really quickly. Yeah. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And we spoke to, if you guys haven't had a chance, we do a coach's show each and every Thursday night where we talk to Coach Marley and either one of his other coaches. Last week it was the defensive coordinator, Coach Eckel, about the previous game and about the upcoming game. And then it was interesting, too, because they also talk about the what the Rise Above Award and everything was. But
exactly, it was doing the shows is really informative for us as well, because we find out exactly what's going on in the week with the team and with the guys, and really what the coaches' thoughts are. Plus, gives us a chance to kind of do a quick recap with the coaches on the last game. It's a great show.
It really is. And so we invite everybody to tune in on this Rejoice Athletics TV on the YouTube channel. Just search it out there on YouTube, Rejoice Athletics TV, and you'll be able to pull it up. And then, of course, if you tuned in before this game, you probably got to see some of that broadcast. But come down to Owasso Coffee Company. I mean, we'd love to have a big crowd down there.
They can see those ugly guys that are using our voices down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we spoke to Coach Marley and Echo about what to expect in tonight's game. Coach Marley said that he thinks it's going to have to be, that we're going to have to be very balanced, because he thinks Salina is probably the most balanced team that they've played, which says quite a bit. And it all depends on, this is one of the things that now we can share, that, he doesn't necessarily want to share on the air to give anybody a heads up, but he said that, it depends on the formations that they throw at them, and that Salina's got some formations that the coaches think that they can take advantage of.
Well, absolutely. If you're playing against a balanced team, that's you can't. You've got to make sure you don't lean one way or the other. You've got to make sure you have a balanced attack on defense as well, so you're prepared for whatever they bring at you. And that's definitely the hardest thing you got to do. Obviously, if you go against a very pass-heavy team, you can back your defenders, your defense off. You know what you're going to do as far as your pass rush is going to go. But if you got to worry about the run too, you got to definitely stay safe. On defense, they did talk about they're going to have a short passing game. That against Salina, if you have that, it's really how your secondary is going to play against that. We've got a really quick secondary, and they also got some height on them. Should be an interesting thing for them, that's for sure. And he said basically that Salina is willing to take a 3-yard pass on a first down.
Or a 3-yard run. Or 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah,
the old
school stuff. And that's it's something they got to have ready to go. Which also means that on a 4th and short, they're probably going to go for it.
Well, that is one thing. When I talked to him today, he said that they go for it a lot. They've got a good quarterback, and I mean he runs like a tailback, number 10. That's going to be Jack Wilkins. And then he said you got to watch out for number 24, who also runs hard. He basically plays like a fullback position, Peyton Burns. And he said you're going to have to watch. Those are the two guys you're going to have to watch out for, because again, if it's down on the opposite side of the field, or if it's on the, I think once it gets across the 50, if they've only got 3 or 4 yards to go, there's a lot of times they're going to go for it on 4th down.
I would say, and obviously those guys are going to have some toughness to them. So if you look, they're both playing on defense too, and then linebackers. They're definitely not going to shy away from some contact.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like the Eagles, other than he said Bryce Brevard, they're holding him out. I guess he strained his hammy in the Beggs game. They held him out last week on Luther. They're holding him out again tonight. They think he'll probably be ready for next week's Kansas game. I know I kept telling everybody we're playing the Kansas Comets this week, but we're not. Kind of in the same area of the state.
They probably are playing somewhere tonight.
But just not us.
Just not us,
and just not here.
Yeah, it's really good on the hamstring strain. One thing you don't want to do on a hamstring, if you get a really bad pull on that hamstring, it can last for a long time. And we have a lot of season left to go. So.
Right, exactly. So everybody's going to be healthy, which is going to be really good, because Mark, as you always say, it starts with the bigs down in the trenches.
Oh, absolutely. Every game's going to start that way. I mean, that's where games are won or lost. I know there's a lot of what they would call skill players that would argue with that, but I think it's definitely going to be where the game is won or lost down in those trenches with the big guys batting their heads back and forth.
The big uglies is what we have always called them. I mean, and they'll take that, the hogs or whatever you want to call them. Yeah. They don't get a lot of times, like we'll pick the player of the game after the game's over. A lot of times it could be a lineman, but they're not going to get that glory. But they may have opened a hole 8-9 times in that game, and we're going to get the toss here as your camera's zooming in. We'll see who's going to win the toss. They're going to call it, and in the air it's flipped.
I can't see it from here, but
looks like Salina won the toss. They're going to receive. It looks like Eagles won the toss. They're deferring to the second half, and Salina will receive on the north end zone, which is on your left side of your screen. But this field goes north to south, so we will start this game off. Pretty good little breeze blowing out of the south. Looks like it's straight out of the south going to the north. And Mark, we've had several people that stepped up last week. I mean, stand out. We were talking about, you know, some of these guys in the offense. It was Colton Abel. After I went back and looked, he had 147 yards on 7 catches last week.
That's pretty
huge
incredible.
For a defensive. I mean, for a tight end.
Yeah, Chance Wilson had a really great night. You know, other than there was a couple of miscues, but to have 450 yards in total offense with Chance, you know, there was a lot of people on the offensive side that really did well.
Yeah, and Abel, I mean, I think Colton is what is Colton? Is he a senior this year? Trying to remember.
He is a senior, yeah.
Yeah. So you got that one in the spectrum of Colton, and he did get the defense. He got the offensive player of the game.
Talk about on the defensive
but on
side,
defense,
we're on the other end of the spectrum. Exactly.
And Cale Marley had a game.
He had a game.
He had 10 solo tackles in that game, 2 pass breakups. So the coaches that's who they gave to their defensive. So we did a good job playing, you know, our player of the game. And of course, Coach Marley, it's his son, as we see the Eagles coming onto the field, and now the Salina Wildcats. But he's you know, coaches are
a little
very
extra critical.
Well,
I think.
not even that, but they don't want to be saying, yeah, my son should have been. They'll let somebody else say it. So we stepped up and said it, but the other coaches agreed too. You know.
Well,
so.
he had a fantastic game, and like a lot of those solo tackles were in the middle of the field when he was the only guy around, and that is a really hard thing to do. He did a great job of it, and the fact that he's just a freshman is just almost mind-boggling.
Yeah, because he plays like a seasoned veteran. I mean, he comes downhill hard.
Absolutely, and he contributed on the offensive side of the ball too.
And he's doing it from his linebacker position, or from his. I mean, he's crashing down quick. So yeah, it does a great job. The captains for tonight's homecoming game were number 58, Cannon Brown. He's a senior. Number 55, Stockton Ryan, also a senior. Number 13, Colton Abel, a senior, and number 54, Caden Marley, a senior. So that's 4 of our few seniors that we've got on this team. I think there's only 6 total, and 1 in a skill position as we wait the kickoff from Maverick Price, who's, I mean, I look to see if he's going to the end zone with this win he's got if he's going to south, but nope,
a little
bit short.
A little height on it.
Catches it about the 5. That's number 10. That is Jack Wilkins. Good coverage, great coverage. Only able to get about 3 yards on that kickoff. So the Salina Wildcats, they will start 1st and 10 deep into their end of the field. That's great coverage right there, Mark. And I know we were dogging on them last year, but that is one thing the special teams have done great this year.
And did y'all see who was in there? Was our number 20 for tonight was also in there on that play.
Oh, there you go. And you know what? We didn't talk about that.
We did not, did we?
And number 20 tonight is, let's see, I'm trying to remember.
Was it Candry?
No, it's Marley. It's Candry.
Candry Carricker.
Yeah,
that's
Candry
right.
Carricker.
He was in on that play for sure.
So we'll have to remember that. Our earned jersey is number 20, Carricker. Handoff is the first man, and just nowhere to go. Several.
55.
Stockton Ryan, senior, in on that play. No gain. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats from their own 9-yard line. So there's only 4 yards on that kickoff return. So great job by that coverage team.
And and then we saw from the very I mean, Salina basically run right between the guards on that one. So let's see what they do here. Again, coach has said they're willing to do a 2 or 3 yard gain, and here they go again.
Wilkins in the gun, hands off again, first man, and just nobody there. Carricker in on the bottom of that pile, and number 9, that is going to be Cooper Oshkowitz, freshman, another one of those talented freshmen on this team.
And Stockton Ryan coming in again to help clean it up behind the line of scrimmage again.
Loss of 1, that'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the Wildcats. So good job so far by this
big
stingy defense. It looks
big
like
play right here.
Got number 15, Connor Johnson, QB in for the Wildcats. Trying to get his, got 10 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, and they're still not set up. There we go.
He's back to pass. He's looking over, going to his left. He's got his man and unable to hold. So big 3 and out by this defense.
Big. That's
deep.
a statement.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, Mark, you flip the field right there because they're going to be punting out of their end zone against the wind. I look for us to pick this up around the 40-yard line, and you've got the ever dangerous solo Morton back to receive the punt. So the punt team is on.
I promise you, punters don't like to stand in their end zone. So he's going to be thinking about that as well. I mean, it's got to be a perfect snap, and it's got to be a perfect kick.
So Connor Johnson, who is the quarterback, is also the punter. He is back in his end zone, about 4 yards deep in his end zone, waiting for the snap. He's got it. Punt is away. There was contact, and they do call it. That's one of those. I don't know if it'll be incidental, but maybe automatic. As Solomon Morton, great job running, breaking several tackles, drops the ball, and Salina gets it. I can tell you what they're going to do. They're going to refuse the penalty.
Refuse it this time.
Yeah. And take it, and they'll have, boy, there we go, Mark. You know, it still would have been their ball because I think it's automatic first down in high school for running into the kicker because it wouldn't have been incidental contact. But again, turnover right there. We had them deep, 2 mistakes. You run into the kicker, so you're going to come back anyway. So that one, that's decline. Yeah, so they're going to have it 1st and 10 all the way back, or all the way out to the 27-yard line. So, boy, just like that, 2 mistakes in one play.
Yeah, just too bad. And it was, run into the kicker, that's going to happen occasionally. They were coming after the ball, but unfortunately, in that particular situation, you probably didn't want to do that because it was going to be
deep.
a shortcut. Yeah, I mean,
they're deep. You're going to
have good position anyway. So,
but again, turnover. We're 0-1 now in turnovers. So the Wildcats will set up again at their own 27-yard line. Johnson back to pass, got his man out in the flat.
Good job, good coverage.
Immediately taken down by Morton. That was out to number 22, Trayton Bartley on the reception, 6'1", 175 junior. So pick up, actually there was no.
It was a drop.
He dropped it.
He dropped it, yeah.
Okay.
Solo definitely, I think he had a little makeup right there. So.
Trying to, he did a great job because I thought he had it. So Solo scratching at that ball, able to pull it out.
Once again, they show that pattern where they're going to show a short throw to the flats.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. As clock is stopped, 10:13 here in the first quarter.
5 seconds on their play clock.
Gonna have to hustle. Johnson back, has the ball, hands off to number 5, and he's out in the open. So Morton's going to have to get up there and catch up with him. He's able to slow him down to get some help. So good job there. He's finally tackled after a long gain by number 20, Kendrick Carricker tonight. So that was started at the 27. So they're all the way down to the 26 of the Eagles. And so Mark, now they've flipped the field. We would have had it about the 30. But instead, there you can see what your mistakes will cost you.
Exactly.
Last week it cost us 20 points. All 20 points were scored after a turnover.
Well, they're going to have to step up right here and shut this down because they certainly can. They have on every other play.
Wilkins just takes the Wildcat, and they've got some. Had him in the backfield. He's able to drive. Pick up of about 3. Yeah, it was good penetration. Had him for a loss, actually. And you're going to have to watch that because you got Wilkins, and then you got your main quarterback, number 15, Connor Johnson. So obviously Wilkins come in there, you're going to have to think Wildcat.
He's going to run the
ball.
Take it and run. Yep.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats on the Rejoice 23-yard line.
Unfortunately, that play was basically indicative of what their game plan is, and if they can get another 3 yards here, you can bet they're going to.
Well, they're in 4 down territory.
It's 4 down territory for sure.
The rest of this way. You're going to have to stop him. You got 4 downs to do it.
Wilkins
hands off, and he trips and falls. Turf come up and bit him. So did he get back to the line of scrimmage? He falls to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. Actually, they'll say he lost a yard. No, put him right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats at the Rejoice 23-yard line.
Well, I would say it's a big play, but it's got to be 2 big plays.
Yeah, exactly. Johnson back in the gun.
Yeah, we got a little good moving back 5 there.
Yep, 52 for the Wildcats. A little too anxious. Wyatt Murphy.
A little anxious there.
So off. Well, we're moving back 5. That's good because, again, we know we're in 4 down territory, so makes it a little more distance. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 13 now. Or 3rd down and 12 for the Wildcats. There pushes them back out to the.
And they didn't call another play, so obviously they're going to run the ball.
26-yard line. He's going to go to his left. He got out there, and great job by Solomon Morton. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we push these guys into throwing positions all night long, we'll be in good shape.
And we'll see right here, Mark. You know they're going to go for it. I mean, you're really in kind of no-man territory, and unless they've got a really good field goal kicker or a really good kicker, it's going to be 4th down and 12 from the Rejoice 28-yard line. And they will go for it. So just nothing behind you here.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and force them to run. Nothing behind you as Connor Johnson, the quarterback for the Wildcats, looks to get his instruction from the sideline. He's joined back there by Jack Wilkins. He's back to pass, looking to his right. Wilkins wide open, comes out of it, and gets 6.
There.
Yeah, just comes out of his tailback position, just kind of goes around the side, and no one picks him up. So that is 6 points. So there's your first 6 points on turnovers, and we'll see if they can add to it. See if they go for the 1 or if they're going to go for 2. They are going to set up for the 1 point extra point.
Just kind of a disastrous turn of events there, but just the guys just need to settle down.
Kick is up, and it is good. That was a kick by Peyton Burns. Counts anyway it gets there. So 8:19 left in the first quarter, and after a turnover, the Salina Wildcats go 67 yards on a drive. There was 2 big plays. You
can almost say it was 94 yards or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But, I mean, they had the long play there that went from the 27 all the way down to the 26 of Rejoice. And then, we had it 4th and 12, and they're able to sneak the guy out of the backfield. That was Jack Wilkins out of the backfield, able to get really an easy touchdown.
Yeah, it was just a blown coverage on that. I mean, they spread. They had 3 receivers on the far side of the field and 1 on this side of the field, and then they had the tailback coming straight out of the backfield.
So the Eagles not making it easy on themselves.
No, definitely not. But like I said, just settle down. We still haven't ran an offensive play yet.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. So that long drive took off about a little over 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. 40 seconds. So waiting for the kick. It's going to be just a little short kick. Solo takes it on the first bounce, makes one move, makes another man miss. Got another man. He's going to make the kicker miss. He's out in the open. He's down to the 30, the 20. He's down at the 10, 5. Touchdown, Rejoice Eagles. That's an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown. And he picked that up at about the 15-yard line. And just like that, folks, Saul Morton says, I made a mistake. I put it on the ground. I'm going to get that 6 points back, and we're going to have it all even here if we get a kick.
We're even.
Pending the extra point, we've tied this up on a nice, long 25 or 85-yard run by Solo Morton, and Maverick Price will try to tie this ball game up. The snap is back down, and he misses it, so it's just a jailbreak and unable to do anything with it. So unable to get that extra point. Not sure what happened there unless the ball just slipped out because Maverick. Yeah, Maverick he started to take it, and then, like I say, I thought it was going to be a jailbreak, but Camden Ryan then unable to come up and get anything going. So we'll kick off again, and we'll see if we can hold them this time and make them earn it the hard way. The Eagles are in the red zone sponsor this year is Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group. And unlike last week, we still didn't get in the same thing as last week.
Yet.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Still haven't. Duralast Roofing Specialists are our first down sponsor this year. They're proud supporters of Rejoice Schools and Rejoice Football. Zach Harbaugh and his team have a proven record of excellence on and off the roof. They use the highest quality roofing materials and does everything correctly the first time. Need a quality roof? Then call the local professionals in Owasso, Duralast Roofing, or call or text Zach at Duralast Roofing Specialist at 918-906-7800. So Maverick Price kicking off again to the Wildcats. This one is a little bit deeper, and this one is out of the end zone. So that's what we expected the first time, especially with this win. So, and the Wildcats are probably saying, good. At least we don't have to start, in a shadow of our own goalpost. They'll start out at the 20-yard line on their own 20.
Well, this is an important series right here. I mean, the defense on the initial part of that last series just shut everything down, and then had the one big play that really kind of broke it open. But it's time to come back around and make a statement like they did the first series when they made him set up for the punt.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just get back to business as usual.
Yep. Just play good, solid defense. You're basically tied up. I mean, you're a point out, so you've proven you can go back. So, again, back at quarterback is Connor Johnson. Hands off to first man up, and number 10, Jack Wilkins, unable to go anywhere. See who comes out of the bottom of that pile. Looks like number 59. That's going to be Big Dalton Close.
Yeah, I guess that's who it was. He absolutely shut that hole off. There was nothing there.
5'11", 270. He can shut off some holes.
Yeah, he stopped that at the beginning.
So that'll bring up a second down. Actually, they lost a little bit. We'll call it 10. They're just behind the 20-yard line. And again, you've got Connor Johnson in the gun, joined back there by big number 24, Peyton Burns.
Wilkins is out, so.
Well, actually, yeah.
No, there's Wilkins right
there.
There
he is.
Oh, good.
Oh, great job.
Number 20.
That's Carricker.
Got his hand on that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's trying to sneak. Again, Mark, we may have to get somebody that just almost, is a bandit on number 10, because they sneak him out of there. He just tried to do that.
Yeah, I thought he was out, but he was actually hit in there as a wing.
Third down and a long 10 now for the Wildcats. Johnson back in the gun. Joined back there this time by Wilkins. And, well, it looks like there's three of them back there. Wilkins, number 24, Peyton Burns. And he's a load if he gets it. He's 190. And he hands off to the first man, number 5,
Get on him.
Turgan Bird.
Good job.
Great job. I don't know that you'll see him go for it here. I'd be surprised. Who was that on that tackle?
Is that 8? No. 6.
That would be Drebin Reed.
That's not who it was.
And Marley. They said Marley.
These new black. Oh, by the way, the new black uniforms look amazing, but the numbers are a little. That was actually 2.
And we'll see here if they're going to go for it. They're not setting back to punt. It's 4th and 6.
That is 2. That was Cale Marley.
Cale Marley. Okay.
Yeah. That was.
Looks like we'll see if they punt it, and they do. Take a short little punt.
They got a better punt out of it, but let that one go out.
Shanked it out of bounds.
That
so
should
great.
be about the 45.
We're going to get to run an offensive play, Mark, as we're going to start out about the 45-yard line. We'll see where they mark it off as they come up.
He went way on down the field for some reason.
Well, they have to go down, and then the white hat's going to tell him where it came across right there. So
good job.
46-yard line. State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller are proud Rejoice Eagles supporters. For surprisingly great rates on auto, home life, or even your pet, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso. So Chance Wilson getting his first chance this evening at quarterbacking as we finally get to run an offensive play. He's back to pass. He's looking over the field.
People.
Yep, and he has number 13. Had a big game last week. Colton Abel for about a 15-yard pickup for a first down. That's a Duralast roofing specialist. First down for the Eagles all the way down to the Wildcats 30-yard line.
And Chance had his choice of people to throw to there.
Just who do I want to get it to? He's still back in the gun. Joined back there, it looks like, by Reed, floating out to his right, looking for somebody. He's just going to take off and get what he can, put that ball away.
Yes, hang on to it. Yep.
So he picks it up about 2, maybe 3 yards, picks up 2. That'll bring up a second down and 8 at the 28-yard line of the Wildcats. Drebin Reed back there in the backfield with Wilson. He's got twins out here to the left, single wide out to the right. Looks over the field. Got a man moving over in the slot. That's close. Looking back to throw. Looking back throws. Got again over the. Just out of the reach of Solo Morton. And he tried to hit him coming over the middle. Quick hitter.
But I mean, Salina's playing man-to-man, and that's going to bite him.
Yeah, we have too much speed. I agree with you 100%.
So
that'll bring up a third down and 8.
That one will be there.
At 3rd and 8 at the 28-yard line. Wilson back in a gun. Again, joined back there by Reed. Same setup. You got close in the slot, and looks like we're going to have motion I'm not sure that would be motion since they hadn't gotten their
Set. They're going to call it, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they call it because they were looking into called play in, so all the linemen stood up. Not sure. They may have to talk about that at halftime to the officials. It may be the one on the far side anyway. Well, that drops it back to a 3rd and 13 now for the Eagles. Wilson in the gun. Twins out here to the left. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's got a little bubble screen to Miller and only able to pick up about 3. That'll take it back to the original line of scrimmage that we started this series on. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and 10. Again, Mark, you're in one of the no man's land. Too deep maybe to even attempt a field goal because that would be a 47-yard field goal. That's
it's a long shot even for
Maverick. You got a lot of wind, but still. So they're going for it. 4th and 10. Wilson in the gun, joined back there by Reed. Single wide outs to the left and right, close in the slot. Back to pass, looking. He's got a man over the fat, just didn't see him over there. Great grab!
Oh, my
That
goodness.
time, is that Solo?
Solo.
What a snatch by him out of the air again, Mark. He is just lightning in a bottle.
He is. He definitely is. You know, he's not the tallest guy around.
Oh, they called it incomplete.
What?
I mean, he took about 5 or 6 steps before he came down. I'm not sure how that's an incomplete pass, as he took 5 or 6 steps after he caught it and then went to the ground. So I'm not sure how that's an incomplete pass, and that's exactly what Coach Marley's asking, how that it's an incomplete pass. Boy, I don't know about that. We're going to have to look at the replay on that later on. So, but nevertheless, the guys in the stripes are what they call the officials. So the official call
I guess
is,
their stuff counts.
Yeah, ours doesn't.
I don't agree with them.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on that incompletion, as they will start out with 2 men in the backfield. Again, you've got Johnson back in the gun, joined back there by Wilkins. Now a man, got 2 men moving. So, Mark, we had a lot of flags last game.
Oh,
this is already starting out.
Starting out not good, exactly. I think it had to be a new record first quarter last week. But,
mercy. That was a forever quarter. So false start against the Wildcats sets them back 5. 1st and 15 now from their own 25-yard line. Johnson in the gun, joined back there by Wilson, is in motion, is taking Bird. Hands off to Wilkins, right there at the line of scrimmage. See who that is on the bottom of the stack. That's 77. That is big Stockton Ryan. Logan Linnell, yeah. You're right. For a gain of only about 2, so that's going to be 2nd and 13, and Caden Marley in on that tackle.
Well, Salina appears they're going to stick with that play regardless.
Yep.
So.
Hey, that's fine with me. If they want to just pick up 2 yards at a time, that's not 10. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 from the 27-yard line of the Wildcats. Johnson looking over for his instructions. Trips out to the left.
Watch out for the flats on this side again.
And this time we got him covered. But he's back out in the open again. Same play, Mark. And he's able to get away from Caden Marley. That play, Mark, Caden had him, but then let him go, and that's what the quarterback was waiting for. That's a pickup. That's all the way down to the 20, so that is a 30, 40, 50, about a 52-yard gain, and you just can't give up the chunk plays. We had him covered. You just got to stay with him. They're going to go to that play a lot tonight, so we just got to make sure we watch it.
From the snap, that's what he was looking for, and he was just really watching that linebacker to see where the linebacker was going to go, reading him.
So now they've got Wilkins at QB. So we know he's probably just going to take it and run. We'll see. He's joined back there by number 3, Braden Williams. And now timeout Salina, and we'll get a couple of our sponsors here on this timeout.
You know, Owasso Coffee Company is your local stop for great coffee with nice people in Owasso. Owasso Coffee Company is a great place for that quick timeout or even those longer conversations over a cup of coffee. Our drive-thru is open too. Owasso Coffee Company offers discounts on drinks both hot and cold to all area teachers, police, and Owasso City employees. Owasso Coffee Company is locally owned, and we love our community and our local schools. Stop in for coffee or one of the many other drinks and foods we serve daily at Owasso Coffee Company. At Owasso Coffee Company, it's all about bold flavors, fresh baked breads and handcrafted drinks. Owasso Coffee Company is your local gathering place in Owasso for coffee, food, and great conversation. OCC has a drive-through too. Owasso Coffee Company is a proud supporter of Rejoice Schools and its athletic department.
Eagles fans, make sure to stop by Billy Sims Barbecue for that pregame tailgate celebration. Whether you're gearing up for the big game or just hungry for delicious barbecue, be sure to visit our Eagles football sponsor, Billy Sims Barbecue at 12416 East 86th Street North, right here in Owasso. So, Mark, defense once again has been put in a tough position, and they're going to have to stiffen up right here. High snap, but able to bring it down and hand off to Wilkins from Johnson. Only able to pick up, let's see, that was Logan Linnell in there at the bottom, and number 2, Cale Marley, in on that tackle, a pickup of about 2. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles, for the Wildcats on the Eagles' 18-yard line.
There he goes. Caleb Woods had some great penetration on that. He just couldn't quite get him wrapped up. If he gets that penetration, though, it's gonna pay off.
And Mark, we talked about them having to be 3 or 4 yards this time, but they've got 3 big chunk plays so far tonight.
But that's why you play the game. You never know.
And we're just going to have to make adjustments and stop that little floater out of the backfield. Johnson back in the gun, floating to his left, looking to pass, and he's being rushed out of the pocket and pushed out of there. Great job, great pursuit that time. Is that Cale?
I think Cale was in there,
but pushing him out of bounds and forcing him out of there is Cale Marley. So no gain on the play, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 from the 18. And this time you got Wilkins.
I think he was actually looking for that same play going on the other side of the field, and we had good coverage.
So Wilkins in the gun, joined back there by Braden Williams. You got to watch this, Mark, because Williams is also down as one of their backup quarterbacks. So
oh, really?
You could have some trick plays here. So we'll see. Now this time, yep. Looks like they're going to snap it to Wilkins. He's got it, and he's running to his right, and you got Wilkins.
Oh, good job.
Great job on the D. Number 9, that is going to be Cooper Oshwitz, and I think also Logan Linnell.
And Caleb Wood. Once again, he got the penetration, made that initial hit that really blew the whole thing up.
Here we go again, Mark. 4th down. This is about the 3rd time I think we've had him in 4th down. I haven't stopped him yet. This is a big opportunity again. Well, I take that back. We did stop down here in 4th.
On the initial series. But I think if I was Salina, I'd probably try that same play.
Yeah. They've got Johnson back in the gun, joined back there by Peyton Burns. Trips out to the left. He's looking that way, throwing it up.
Yeah, that one's.
And this time, how in the world
did he come from to catch that?
It looked like we had it covered. I thought we had it covered. Even could get an interception. But number 22 comes streaking across. That's a great play if they Trayton Bailey with the catch.
That was literally the only place that the quarterback could have thrown that ball for that reception. I mean, he dropped it in the middle of a box over there.
So it is 1st and goal now for the Wildcats all the way down. It looks like about the 1-yard line. So, man, defense has got to stiffen up right here and fire across that line. All their plays have come from big plays except for one. Well, no, they've all come from pass plays.
They've all come from big plays.
Just a little end around.
Well, they had the one end around, and the rest of them were pass plays.
Yeah, end around. The rest of them were long pass plays. So Wilkins in the gun. He's just going to go right up the middle, and we'll see what the call is. They're trying to come in. They're saying he was short, so he'll be right at the goal line, about the 6-inch line. So I'm sure that they'll just do it to Wilkins again.
Yeah.
Just get some blockers in front of him.
4 shots at it.
And this is where you just got to bring 11 guys in the box almost.
If you're going to get penetration, this would be the spot.
Hey, see if we can force a turnover here.
Oh, that'd be really nice. I mean, we're due.
Yeah, we actually absolutely are. So 2nd and we'll call it 1. 2nd and go from the 1. And now Johnson's back in there. This time he hands off and just walks in. That time is Wilkins. So that will run the Salina score lead to 13-6 with 1:45 remaining here in the 1st quarter. And boy, again, just big plays. One turnover led to the other score. This one just a big chunk play when we had it covered. Let him go and then broke tackles and was able to get down. And then on 4th down, able to have a pass play over the left. And this time, still up and good. Those line drives work. Hey, however they get through.
Not much on style points, but it still counts, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Rejoice Church loves cheering on the Rejoice Christian Eagles. Rejoice Church exists to lead all generations of our neighbors and nations to follow Jesus. That includes you. They would love to connect with you on social media at Rejoice Church or anytime at our Sunday services at 9:30 and 11 a.m. We can't wait to meet you at Rejoice Church.
How about Keith Chu is your hometown insurance agency in Owasso, and he's a proud supporter of Rejoice Eagles football. Keith is not only a local business owner, he and his wife have a son at Rejoice Schools. Call Keith Chu, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso at 918-928-4545 or visit insurewithkeith.com.
So, Mark, we've just got to, you got to answer for one thing. 1:45 left as the Wildcats get set up, tee up the ball, and ready to kick off to the Eagles. But, yeah, right now you just got to answer. But you've got to answer score for score, obviously, but you've got to figure a way to stop those chunk plays. I mean, we haven't seen the Eagles give up a bunch of those this year yet, except for Beggs.
It begs, but everything was kind of like that. Get on that ball.
Little squib kick, and they're able to cover it right at the 43-yard line. The up man, that is Kendry Carricker.
Good hands.
Yep, he's able to draw it in. So the Eagles will start on their own 40. They're going to set it down at the 43, in between 42 and 43. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles on their own 43-yard line.
But once again, just settle down and run Rejoice Eagles football right here.
Absolutely. Wilson back in the gun. Joined back there this time. Looks like, is that Barnett back there with him? And Solo. No, yep, number 21. It's 21. That's Jace Jenkins. Sophomore Jace Jenkins only able to pick up about 1. So we'll call it, nope, they actually say he got just back to the line of scrimmage. So 43, still at the 43-yard line, just maybe picked up 6 inches on the other side of ball's length. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Twins out here to the left, twins out to the right for an empty backfield. Yeah, for Wilson. Looks over the defense. Abel switching, or Dalton Close switching aside, and Wilson just takes it himself. And he's open, and he's hard to catch when he's open. He's down to the 35, gets down to the 30-yard line. Good job by Chance Wilson, able to take that about a 23, 24-yard gallop by Wilson. He's down all the way to the 30, and they're going to go quickly. Wilson joining the gun back there by Jace Jenkins, twins to the right. Hands off to Jenkins, and he's got, just back to the line of scrimmage. So they had that one sniffed out pretty good.
Well, they're shooting a linebacker. They're shooting a linebacker almost every play. So we've got to figure out some way to stop that from getting in there and get that penetration.
So this will probably be the last snap of the first quarter, unless it goes all the way. There's 28 seconds clock running. Wilson back in the gun, still joined back there by Jace Jenkins, twins to the right. Miller here to the left. This time he fakes the handoff, and now he's being pressured. He's going out to his right. Still looking, and able to keep his balance. And looks like he picked up out to the, oh, wow, they're going to say they stepped out just at the 29. So that's only a 1-yard gain. Tough officiating out there on the sideline.
It is, and I really wish, I think Jay Miller was open over there on that side. It wouldn't have been a long gain. But I'd like to see Chance get that ball out of his hands so he's not taking all the punishment.
That's his favorite receiver. I hadn't got it to him, able to get it to him yet tonight. He's in the gun again, joined back there by Jace Jenkins. Solo Morton in motion. He's rolling to his right, and again, just pressing him. Good pressure that time. Good block. Gave him some time. Looking for a man. He's got a man over the middle, and it looks like there's a flag, but it's flag. We got 3 flags on the field. It's enough for a first down, depending on what these flags are. My guess is there was probably offensive or defensive holding, because it's back in the defensive backfield, and then it looks like we'll call to see what they call here. So there's several flags on the field. If it stands, we got a 1st and 10 back down at the 15-yard line as able. But usually when there's that much time on the offense or for your quarterback, holding against the defense. So that negates that game. We'll just do that all over. So that'll still bring up a 3rd down and 9. Good job by peeling back and giving Wilson time to throw that time. I think that was number 50 that peeled back there.
That game. Excellent block.
That's T.J. Wilson, the sophomore, that came back and gave him that extra time. And
that'll be the quarter.
that is the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the Eagles trail the Salina Wildcats 14-6. Keith, too, is your hometown insurance agency in Owasso and is a proud supporter of the Rejoice Eagles. Keith is not only a local business owner, he and his wife have a son at Rejoice Schools. Call Keith, too, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso at 918-928-4545 or visit insurewithkeith.com.
State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller, proud Rejoice Eagles supporters. For surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even your pet, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso.
Eagle fans, make sure to stop by Billy Sims Barbecue for that pregame tailgate celebration. Whether you are gearing up for that big game or just hungry for delicious barbecue, be sure to visit our Eagles football sponsor, Billy Sims Barbecue at 12416 East 86th Street North, right here in Owasso. So, Mark, we were talking about having an answer. They just got to do it right here. As it's third and long for the Eagles. They are at the Salina 29-yard line, but they've got to get to the 20 for fourth down. Again, you got to think this is four down territory.
It's got to be, and you're right. I mean, they've got to come away with some points here.
Wilson in the gun, trying to draw him offside, is joined back there by Jace Jenkins, number 21. 5'10", 155-pound sophomore. Wilson looking over the defense. And he's got a man far over his favorite. Just hit the wrong shoulder that time. Jay Miller was his intended target.
He was open and it was there.
And if he turns the other way, but by the time he turns around, those feet just seem to get tangled up. So 4th and 9 now for the Eagles at the Wildcats 29-yard line. Need a big play right here. That'd be a big confidence booster. I mean, you expect that out of us. I mean, when you got 4th and long against Salina, you're thinking, okay, we're going to get the ball back. We should be able to hit one of those. Trips out to the left. Single wide out here to the right. Wilson back to throw. He's got a lot of people to throw to. Got a man over the middle and intercepted at the 5-yard line. Returned to the 10, back out to the 15, to the 20, and shoved out of bounds. So he'll basically be out of bounds at where he shoved him out of bounds at the 27. So they lost 2 yards if they'd have knocked it down. So we picked up a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, I thought we were going to be able to have it deep, which would have been nice. So the Eagles turn over the ball at the 27-yard line, unable to convert that 4th down, 4th and 9. So, Mark, and you just wonder how much of again, I love homecoming, and it's nice for the alumni and stuff, but it always seems like it takes the second half before you can shake off all
get your
those distractions
together. And I think the coaches are going to see some stuff, too, in this first half. I think they're going to make some changes, especially in some of the play calling that we're looking at right now.
So man in motion. He hands off to that man in motion, tries to cut back. He does.
Good
That's
job.
number 3, Braden Williams. It's like Cale Marley.
And 34.
And number 34. That's Peyton Cole, 5'11", 205 junior. So they'll bring up a second down, and we'll call it 7 for the Wildcats there at their own 30-yard line, just inside their 30-yard line. You got Johnson back at QB back there, joined by big number 24, Peyton Burns, for the Wildcats. He's a 5'7", 190-pound junior. And there's that float again. That time we were able to break it up, and that's how you've got to do it. That's number 9 out there breaking that up. They said, we've had enough of that. Cooper Auschwitz, and that's what you have to do, Martin. And he did a good job. He just touching him, making sure he didn't get too far away, and then knocks the pass down at the last minute.
Yeah, excellent job. And, I mean, you knew, once again, the quarterback never looked anyplace else. That was his play call all along.
And you can only do that, go the well so many times. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the 30 for the Wildcats. Johnson back in the gun. Again, joined back in there by Burns. Twins out here to the left. Single wide out to the right for the Wildcats. Back to pass
Coming
is
inside
Johnson
again.
looking over here, and he's got a man, and he just unable to get to him. So that time we were able to break it up. And you got to think, you're not sure, but it's 4th and 7. Hopefully that's a 3-and-out. Looks like they're bringing the punt team on, so great job by the defense there to get the offense back on the field as they're able to break up that pass play. Again,
Good job.
That one, I mean, again, how many times can you go? If that's all they've got, then I like the Eagles' chances because now they've made the adjustment to be able to shut that particular play down.
A lot better on the coverage, and again, held off, didn't get the interference call.
Solo Morton back to catch, but he's going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Eagle bounce, comes all the way back up to the 41-yard line. So the Eagles will start this offensive series with 10:53 remaining here in the first half. The Eagles trailing 14-6. So you got to see if Chance Wilson can make this drive count.
Yeah,
I tell you, Salina's doing a good job of covering up. Of covering the receivers. They make it they take kind of a soft zone, but then they pick them up, like you said, man to man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, we're getting opportunities. It seems like just something is going awry on
Wilson
every
hands
drive.
off to the first man through, and that's Drevin Reed. Good hard running there by Reed, as he's able to pick up about 4. That takes him up to the 45-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats for the Eagles at their own 45-yard line. Wilson back in the gun again joined back there by Reed. He's got twins out to the left, twins out to the right. Colton Abel in the slot.
They're backing off, it looks like, to a zone coverage over on this side, and that's going to give us room too. I mean,
quick hits. Yeah. This time he fakes the handoff. Wilson does, pulls it back out.
Don't do too much.
Yeah. And all that running, boy, at some point, especially in the middle, just go down with it. It scares me because he does carry that ball kind of loose.
He's got it out here like a.
And you know they're trying to scrape at it and try to knock it out.
Absolutely. And, it seems like where we're seeing this break off is when we get the east and west running instead of north and south.
Yeah, so he picked up about 2. That's going to bring up about a 3rd and 4 for the Eagles on their own 47-yard line, just outside their 47-yard line. Wilson in empty backfield, back in the gun. He's got quads out to the right, single wide out to the left. We'll see if we can get something in the pass play. He goes out to his left. He's got his man. Oh, great job by the defense that time. Was that Miller? No, that looks like, is that number 11 out there? No, number 17. It must be Jay Miller.
Yeah.
Able to knock down. It's going to bring up a 4th down, so we'll see what the Eagles do. It looks like they're bringing on their punt team. Looks like Cale Marley's going to do the punting for us. Back to punt. And Cale's a threat to run. He's got the green light if he thinks that he can do a jailbreak and run. He's got some room on this side if he can get a block. We'll see.
This could be interesting here.
So he'll probably do the rugby style where he goes out and looks and sees, and he's got some room to run. Can he get enough? And he doesn't. No, he actually doesn't gain any as he is throwing good coverage that time. That's by
Wilkins.
Wilkins. Mr. Everything on their team, and boy, hey, you gamble, there's a chance. I mean, if he cuts back inside, I think he might have been able to have that, but he kept stretching it out the outside, and Wilkins was.
Yeah, Wilkins got a lot of speed for a guy that big.
Yeah, absolutely. State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller are proud Rejoice Eagles supporters. For surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even your pet, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens. So now the defense again called upon to try to stop this line of offense. You don't want to go down 2 scores, Mark. You got to keep this a 1-score ball game. Johnson back in again. No Wilkins in it. He's just going to keep it himself. And Logan Linnell in there to grab him and throw him down and to help wrap it up. Number 59, that's that big freshman, Dalton Close, in on the tackle. He's able to pick up maybe 2. We'll call it 2nd and 8.
We're doing a great job between the tackles. We just need to keep that up. We've just got to contain that stuff on the outside.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 at the 48-yard. Well, no, we call it the 46-yard line of the Eagles. Boy, they wait a lot. The reason they take so long and take so much time off the clock, they used it all the way down to about 5 seconds. That time Johnson hands off to Wilkins. He's bet in the backfield. Great job
out there.
by Cale Marley, freshman Cale Marley, shoving him out of bounds after only a gain of about 2. So that'll bring up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 6.
Cale he did a great job.
Wildcats.
Obviously, he'll get the credit for that tackle, but that defensive line stopped that play right there.
They forced it outside, and Cale was there to clean it up. So 3rd down and 6 now. A long 6. We'll call it 3rd and 7 for. They got to get down to the 33-yard line or the 38-yard line.
Get some coverage changed up here. So
Eagles fans trying to get the defense fired up here. Wilkins
and we
in
got
the gun.
5 more there.
And they call a timeout before they get to delay a game. So that'll be their 2nd timeout this half because they run that clock. Like I say, it's you seldom see them snap it with more than 10 seconds left. It's usually about 5 seconds left, so that's why they take so long.
Well, you think on a that they'd be more interested in getting more of the plays going whenever they got such a short short range offense like that. But honestly, with the big plays they've been getting, I can see why they're just trying to run the clock out now, thinking that they're going to get those big plays every now and then, which they've managed to do every series so far.
The team at Duralast Roofing Specialists in Owasso are proud supporters of Rejoice Schools and Rejoice Football. Zach Harbaugh and his team have a proven record of excellence on and off the roof. They use the highest quality roofing materials and does everything correctly the first time. Need a high quality roof? Then call the local professionals in Owasso, Duralast Roofing. Call or text Zach on Duralast Roofing Specialists at 918-906-7800, and they are our first down sponsor this year. So make sure if you need a roof, you give Zach a call. Here we go, big 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 6, about 7 actually for the Wildcats. Wilkins back in the gun, so you got to look for him to run, and he is right at the middle, and he is met immediately at the line and thrown for a loss of 1. And there, Dalton Close, freshman, the first man to meeting right there at the bottom of the pile. Great penetration, and you know they're going to go for it because they're on the other side of the 50, so you just got to imagine they're going to go for it here.
There's no doubt about it. And you can almost bet it's going to be a swing pass again coming out into the flats, I would guess.
So Johnson back in the gun again, joined back there by Burns. You got to keep an eye on Wilkins. You got to look and see where he's at. I don't even see him out there. You got 24 up, so he may be going to punt. He's back in the punt position.
Yeah, quick.
And just a little quick punt. Boy, just shanks it straight over to the right.
That was odd.
We'll see where they call it because unless it went right out at the 20.
Well,
spot it right at the 20.
I guess it looks at moved Rejoice back as if it was better off than having an incomplete pass, I guess.
Exactly. Kept them from scoring, kept it a 1-score ball game. So Chance Wilson will direct this offense from his own 20-yard line. Joined back there, I believe that's Reed. It's hard to see with these black jerseys. And Solo's in motion, hands off to Reed, and boy, he's met immediately. Got to hold on to it, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had a hole there, but 52.
Actually, he got a yard.
Yeah, 52 just closed that hole up quick, but he had a big hole to go through.
Number 52 is for their team. I don't have a 52 on here.
No, he's definitely out there.
Wyatt Murphy. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 9, as that was a gain of 1. They actually spotted that ball at the 18 to start this drive. Thought it was at the 20. Wilson in the gun. You got twins out here to the right. Jay Miller, the lone wide out to the left. Boy, and they are just not letting him get open. Joined back there by Drevin Reed. Fakes the handoff and keeps it himself. Wilson, he cuts, makes 2 cuts. Able to pick up about 6. He is out to the 26-yard line. So
a couple yards short.
Yeah, good tough running at time as he pulls it out and runs himself. Bring up a 3rd down and 2. Mark, does Coach gamble on this? Is this a 2-down territory?
I think we go for
2 to get 1.
we need to get the first down right here for sure on this play, I think.
So you got Isaac Barnett in the backfield with Wilson, and he is a tough runner. So you got to wonder if you're going to pass or hand it off here. Wilson in the gun, trips to the left. He does hand it off to Barnett. No, he keeps himself, follows him. He's up at the 35, the 40, makes a spin.
Face mask.
Yeah, it should have been an incidental face mask. Didn't get called. That's all right.
Okay.
First down. That's a Duralast Roofing Specialist. First down for the Rejoice Eagles out to the 42-yard line by a nice run by Chance Wilson.
Excellent run.
about a, we'll call, I think it was about a 12-yard pickup. So good job by Chance to pull that one out and follow his blocker, Isaac Barnett, who is still in the backfield. Trips out to the left. Number 9 out here. That's Cooper Oshwich, freshman, out here, lone wide out to the right. Wilson in the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking for somebody to hit. He's got a man. And it goes long. He's got the man open. And great catch that time by Cale Marley. That is a 20-yard, about a 22-yard toss and catch. Cale Marley for a Duralast Roofing Specialist first down for the Rejoice Eagles inside the Wildcat territory all the way down to the 35-yard line. Nice play that time.
Chance and Cale must have had some kind of ESP going on or something like that, because I thought that was going to be way underthrown.
Wilson back in the gun, still joined by Barnett. This time hands off to Barnett,
opening.
Got a lot of room, still going, and he is a hard man to bring down because he's got a Duralast Roofing Specialist first down on a 15-yard run by Isaac Barnett all the way down to the 20-yard line, and it takes us into that, well,
red zone.
Well, no, at the 21. We're almost there.
It's almost there.
Almost there into the red zone. So we're going to see if we can get a red zone sponsoring on this. So 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Wilson in the gun, hands off again. No, fakes a handoff, rolls to his left. He's got pressure. He's going to have to try to get open or do something with it. He's got a man.
Is it caught?
It's caught. We'll see if it says inbounds, and it is for a Duralast Roofing Specialist first down. That was Jay Miller. What a great catch, and being able to keep his feet in bounds all the way down into the 3-yard line.
And Bill,
that is
the Eagles are in the red zone.
They're
sponsored by Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group.
Wilson in the gun, looking to throw. He's got a man open, and
did he get it off the ground?
And touchdown, Rejoice Eagles. That is an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown, 3-yard toss and catch. Wilson to one of his favorite receivers. He's got many of them this year, but that's to Jay Miller for a 3-yard touchdown for the Rejoice Eagles. And they're going to just go for one. 14-12 with 4:38 remaining.
Go for 2.
Price awaits the snap. It's down. The kick is up. And it is good. So with 4:38 remaining in the first half, the Eagles bring it back to a 1-point ball game as your score is Salina Wildcats 14 and the Rejoice Eagles 13.
2 great runs there to really set that whole thing up. And Chance running the ball to do his best Solo Morton imitation.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Solo, how was this? No, you're not there yet. Keith, too, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso, is a proud supporter of Rejoice Eagles football. Keith is not only a local business owner, he and his wife have a son at Rejoice. Call Keith, too, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso at 918-928-4545 or visit insurewithkeith.com.
And Eagles fans, make sure to stop by Billy Sims Barbecue for that pregame tailgate celebration. Whether you're gearing up for the big game or just hungry for delicious barbecue, be sure to visit our Eagles football sponsor, Billy Sims Barbecue, at 12416 East 86th Street North, right here in Owasso.
And Trayton Bailey and Wilkins, Jack Wilkins, will wait to receive deep. The kick from Price kicks it off, and he does kick it deep. And even into the wind, this one barrel. I tell you what, Wilkins got to watch that. That was real close. That was just coming back in the field to play. So that may be something that Coach Marley said, hey, just take a little bit off of it next time. Let's see if we can catch them sleeping. So the Wildcats will take over at their own 20. And Mark, make a stop right here and go in and score at the first half, but you can't let them score going into halftime.
You can't let them get another drive down the field. And again, they're doing a great job of stopping them, and then we just get one big play. In every series, it seems like just one big play. Just got to stop that.
So we'll see who they put in at quarterback because they trade off between Wilkins and Johnson. And it looks like it's going to be Wilkins in at the quarterback slot. He'll have Burns back there with him. His big tailback trips out to the right. So you got to look for them to just run it straight up the middle. We'll see what happens. And they do, just coming over here to the left. And
he's able to bust.
Yeah, and he's able to bust 2 or 3. And they finally a slew of. You had number 11, Josh Hendricks, number 54, Caden Marley, and Stockton Ryan out there to finally stop him. But he's able to pick up 8 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 2. And Mark, you just pretty much got to know that you got to pin your ears back if he's at the quarterback position. He's just going to run.
Has he thrown it? I'm not sure he's thrown it yet.
As soon as it doesn't even fake a throw, he just takes it off and runs. So That'll bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats at their own 28-yard line. Like I say, they're in no hurry to get the snap off. They wait with 8 seconds. Hands off this time to Wilkins. He's got room around the right side. He's got the first down and more as he's all the way out to the 40-yard line before being stopped there by Caden Marley, but not before he picks up a first down out to their own 40-yard line. So
yeah, unfortunately,
they're just running.
Yeah, lost containment on that side and didn't get him turned back to the inside where all the help is. And it's going to hurt whenever you let him get out there. He's definitely fast.
But then you've got to be careful not to let him sneak a pass out to the flats on you.
Agreed.
Because they're just running. You don't want to get sold out on the run and get caught. So again, letting that clock run down.
Yeah, that balanced attack
Yep.
that coach is talking about.
So Johnson in the gun. Wilkins floating out the pass. Hands off though this time to 24, and we're able to meet him right there. But he's still able to drive forward for about 4. As he is out to the 44-yard line. Didn't pick up the tacklers on that play. So that'll bring up a 4th down and 6 with 3:02 remaining in the first half. They'll probably let this run all the way down to about 3:30 before they snap this ball. They're not in any hurry. They'll be just satisfied as you can be as going in with a 14-13 lead. Play clock down to 15 seconds. Johnson in the gun. No, yeah, he's got snap. Hands off to the first man. Burns. There you go. That time he is a tackle for a loss as he is slung down there. Let's see what number that is. I think that was Dalton Close. Was that 59? No, that was number 9. Cooper Oshowitz, freshman, throws him for a loss of 2. They'll bring up a 3rd and 8 now for the Wildcats at their own 42-yard line. You stop them here, you pretty much got to start using your timeouts.
Yeah, and then I bet they were going to wish they had that time back. They'd let them spin away here.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2:08 and counting on the clock. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Johnson back in the gun. Joined back at this time again. I think that is Wilkins. No, yeah, it is Wilkins going out looking to pass this way.
Yeah,
and he's got pressure. Great job that time.
Yeah,
and he just throws it out of bounds. Good job. We've had that one snuffed out because he was going to try to block and then just float out into the flat. And that time recovered well by the defense. We'll see what, there's a flag on the play, I guess. We'll see what the call is. Otherwise, it would be 3rd and 8.
Pointing back this direction.
Well, I think you almost have to decline this.
Yeah.
And decline. Yep. Figured they would decline it, so it's going to be 4th and 8. Give them no more time, and they're going to bring on their punt team. So we're going to have a shot at going the distance as Solo Morton. If they'll just kick it to Solo, he'll just take care of it here, possibly.
Yeah, come up and field it in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. So Johnson is back to, they're missing a guy on the line for Salina. Still plenty of time on the play clock to get the snap back. Wilkins, and they're going to use their last time out as they still don't have enough guys on the line.
Interesting series right there for sure.
State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller, proud Rejoice Eagles supporters for surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even that pet of yours. Visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso.
You know, it's almost hot chocolate time again.
It is.
After nights like this.
And I did have a guy, and I know you're going to talk about the Owasso Coffee Company.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And I'm telling you, folks, they do a great job of supporting Rejoice Eagles football. They are our solo single sponsor for the coffee. For the Rejoice Eagles coffee coaches show.
Coffee coaches.
Show.
The coaches coffee show.
The coaches show with coffee. Have coffee with the coaches. But what I'm trying to get to is just like a gentleman up here in the press box said, he's gone by twice this week and bought coffee just to show them how much he appreciates them being a sponsor of Rejoice, and we want everybody to do the same thing.
Yeah, please go by. We appreciate them immensely too. It's a great place for us.
Oh, the ball stepped over his head. Bad snap. And he's just going to have to eat it. Great job there for, a great turnover for not great job. We didn't do anything.
That's a turnover.
Terrible job by the snapper. and unable, and really wasn't that far, but I think he was looking to see. They may have had a play on.
I think they were looking to see where Solo was at, where he was going to kick it to.
So, nevertheless, goes through the hands of Johnson, and he has to fall on it way back at the Wildcat 18-yard line.
In the red zone.
And
that is in the red zone.
That is in the red zone, sponsored by Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Group. And Wilson just keeps it and just not able to pick up much as he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. And I think that's just trying to run some time off, try to score with little or no time left on the clock.
We'll call it that.
Wilson again back in the gun, joined back there by Jace Jenkins. Twins out here to the right, single wide out to the left. He's rolling here to his white.
There's Miller.
Got a man open, and that is Solo.
Yep.
And boy, that's close. He just rode him out of bounds. But and we are in the red zone, sponsor, and we're down now. That's a first. That is a Duralast roofing specialist. First down by the Rejoice Eagles, taking the ball, ridden out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So 1st and go for the Eagles at the 5. Wilson's once again in the gun.
Chance had multiple people open on that one. Okay.
Takes the handoff. He takes it himself, and he takes it into the corner.
Good job.
Touchdown, Rejoice Eagles. That's an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown. And the Eagles have taken the lead 19-14 with 1:13 left in the half. And Mark, what a turnaround of events. Fortunate for the Eagles on that.
Turnovers, once again. We're on the plus side of it this time.
Yeah.
We actually got the benefit of it, but the last few that we've had has been kind of the other direction, so it's nice to have it for a change.
And we've got a timeout. And maybe we're going to go for 2 here. You're only up by 5, so we'll see if Coach Marley decides to go for 2, as there is 1:13 remaining in the game, so the clock is stopped with the touchdown. The Eagles lead 19-14, awaiting the extra point, and we don't know if it's going to be the conventional 1-point type or if he's going to go for 2 this time. We'll see what to do.
Honestly, I think we could.
They're
we
picking
could go
up the tee.
We're picking up the tee. We're going to go for 2, which I think, I mean, every time we've had a rollout pass play, we've got at least two receivers open.
Yeah, that time he had his choice.
Yeah,
his
choice there, and
was able to hit Solo. And we've got, Solo's got great hands. Jay's got great hands.
Colton Abel.
Colton Abel has great hands.
He was. I said Jay
open.
Miller, but it was Colton Abel actually. It was open on that last one.
Yeah, because Miller was the
on the other side.
To the left. So here we're going to go for 2. Ball setting down at the 3-yard line for the Eagles. See if we can't put a couple more on the board. They lead 19-14. Going to try to make this a 7-point ball game. Wilson back in the gun. You've got a single wide out to the left. Twins out here to the right. In motion is Solo Morton. They're going to see if they could draw it off sides. Weren't able to do it.
I wonder we didn't get a flag right there.
Yeah, because that was strange on that like the 3rd play of the game or the 2nd play of the game where they called the flag and we still had to got the call in.
Oh, that's
so Wilson
coaches are 6 yards onto the field.
And we got a timeout. And might as well use them. Make sure they get the right call.
Yeah, you don't get to carry him over.
Too much time, boy, Mark. There's just no excuse.
Oh, I wasn't even watching the time. Oh.
Yeah, you've got 2. You had 2 timeouts left. I'm surprised we didn't call a timeout. So now they'll go for the extra point. I guess they wanted him to make a 35-yard extra point instead of 15.
Well, yeah.
Hey, we'll take one.
Go ahead and take a full cut at it so you didn't have to hold his leg up. Yeah.
Yeah. Mistake there because I'm sure that wasn't by design. Kick is up. And it is good. So with 1:13 in the first half, it's the Eagles 20 and Salina 14. That's how we like to see it.
Yeah,
the
it's a
Eagles
whole lot better set,
on the top side of the score.
Absolutely.
Rejoice Church loves cheering on the Rejoice Christian Eagles. Rejoice Church exists to lead all generations of our neighbors and nations to follow Jesus. That includes you. They would love to connect with you on social media at Rejoice Church or anytime at our Sunday services at 9:30 and 11 a.m. We can't wait to meet you at Rejoice Church.
And State Farm Insurance agent Casey Miller is a proud Rejoice Eagles supporter and for surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even your pet, which is kind of amazing to me, but I guess there's a lot of people out there that insure their pets for sure.
Some of those pets are their kids. That's what I've heard.
Visit State Farm agent Casey Miller on the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso.
Maverick Price puts a toe into it and kicks it. This time not
real
quite as
short.
deep. He's going to take a bounce and grab now by Wilkins. He grabs it at about the 6.
Big
out
hop.
to the 15, and they brought down finally just about the 21.
Minute 6.
Looks like that's number 4 in on that tackle, Camden Ryan, Stockton's younger brother, sophomore. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 22. And Mark, you know, their game really is to run or to try to get the pass out to the flat. Are they going to go for it, or are they just are they going to be satisfied being down by 6?
I think that pass out in the flat has worked for him so well, although Rejoice is certainly honed in on it. So
Right.
I guess we'll see what happens here, but I would look for him to go for that at least once here.
And they do have Johnson back in the gun at quarterback. He hands off to the first man through to Wilkins, and he's busted right there after a short pickup, short gain of about 2. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats at their own 24-yard line.
I think they're just checking to make sure Rejoice is paying attention.
And that is Rejoice calls a timeout, so I guess we're going to try to get the ball back if we can, but not enough time left on the clock with 59 seconds. You know, you've got 1 timeout left.
Probably not. But, hey, you know what? We could get another turnover, too.
We could do that.
Owasso Coffee Company is your local stop for great coffee and nice people in Owasso. Owasso Coffee Company is a great place for that quick timeout or even those longer conversations over a cup of coffee, which we have like 30-minute long conversations on Thursday night.
Yes, sir. You can come down there.
Our drive-thru is open as well. Owasso Coffee Company offers discounts on drinks both hot and cold, which I prefer the cold. I know you prefer the hot.
That's right.
And all area teachers, police, and Owasso City employees can come in for free. Owasso Coffee Company is locally owned, and we love our community and our local schools. Stop in for coffee or one of the many other drinks and foods we serve daily at Owasso Coffee Company.
So 2nd and 8 now for the Wildcats. Wilkins hands off, or Johnson hands off to Wilkins. No, that's Burns, his big fullback. And again, we'll take another timeout.
We gang tangled that one.
Yep. No gain on that play. Actually, maybe a little bit of a loss. So now that's going to be a 3rd and long 8, short 9 as they take another timeout. And Mark, I'm glad, like you said, I'm glad we got to call our first down sponsor this game. I think that's one of the
red
first
zone sponsor.
we've been able to do it because it's usually we
it's
take
one
off
end
the
to the
30
other.
or 40
It's-
and and the Eagles are, when they're in the red zone, that is sponsored by Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group. The team at Duralast Roofing Specialists in Owasso are proud supporters of Rejoice Schools and Rejoice Football. Zach Harbaugh and his team have a proven record of excellence on and off the roof. They use the highest quality roofing materials and does everything correctly the first time. Need a high quality roof? Then call the local professionals in Owasso, Duralast Roofing. Call or text Zach at Duralast Roofing Specialists at 918-906-7800. Duralast Roofing Specialists, our first down sponsor this year.
And man, you don't want to be up on a roof on
No.
your own self. Yeah, let the experts do
Johnson's
it.
got the snap, hands off to Wilkins, and he just runs right to the line, and it'll be down there as they'll blow the whistle. So they're going to have to kick with about, we should get the ball unless they just try to run it out. There's 30 seconds left on the play clock and 37 seconds left on the game clock. So about a 7-second difference. And they have no timeout, so we'll see if they just let it run all the way down and take the 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they might as well.
12 seconds remaining on the play clock. 15 seconds now on the game clock. And they're down inside 5. We'll see if they snap it right as it expires or they'll just let it. Nope, delay game. So they do take the delay game. That means there'll be 5 seconds. So Solo is going to have to catch an error because by the time the ball comes down, there's not going to be any time left on the clock. So this is going to have to be to where you catch it in the air.
If they run it here,
yeah,
they could run that 5 seconds off.
Yeah, absolutely. You just run around until the the game clock is out. 5 seconds remaining in the first half. The Eagles leading 20-14. 4th down and 12, and he does punt it away, and it is going to settle, but he's going to have to pick it up and run. He's got it, and he's kind of come to this side. He's got a little room, and he's got some blockers. We'll see what he can do, and he's just not able to do anything with it. That's a forward pass, actually. Yep. That's why the flag is down. So that's going to end the half. But your Eagles have come back to take a 20-14 lead after that really disastrous start. As they not only did they have the running into the kicker or personal foul, roughing the kicker penalty, but then you fumble the ball, give them a just a generous gift as they were able to then take it down.
Yeah, bad way to start the game on our first touch of the football.
But like you said, Mark, and that is true. They did come back and took away that little float out to the flats.
Definitely defended it a whole lot better, and once they took that away, it really shut down what was one of their big gainers that they had for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, the defense, especially on the defensive line, great job by the defense to be able to come up and able to stop the run. If they can shut, I mean, their game is pretty much Wilkins and Johnson.
Exactly.
I mean, you shut those two guys down. I haven't seen them. I don't know if they've.
That's the majority.
They hand off to 24. They do hand off to him.
And 3.
And number 3.
And 3 occasionally. But
other than that, that's really. I mean, I don't think you have to really. If you can put a man on Wilkins and shut him down, I think you take away their passing game.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, when Wilkins is set up at quarterback, they're not going to throw, so you can forget about the pass at that point. So
he's just going to run. It's a Wildcat.
Yeah.
It's a Wildcat with the Wildcats.
But one thing about it, I think I certainly feel a whole lot better about going into this halftime after that those last series there.
Yeah, the confidence building is up. But again, Salina, like they said, they've got a balanced team. You still are going to have to be on your toes.
I think it's going to be a game all the way to the wire.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be the last person to score wins the ball game. So, and we were the last ones to score at the first half, so we will be back with about probably 5 minutes before the second half starts. The Rejoice Christian Eagles lead the Salina Wildcats by a score of 20-14 here at Rejoice Field in Owasso, Oklahoma. And you're listening to Rejoice Eagles football on the Rejoice Athletics TV channel on YouTube.
Class of 2016. Class of 2017. Class of 2018. Class of 2019. And class of 2020. Finally, class of 2021. Thank you all for representing our almost 500 RCS alumni. It's always great to see you return to the nest. Please plan to stick around for the fifth quarter event for current middle school, high school students, alumni, and staff. One more time, fans, can you help me welcome and thank our alumni of Rejoice for being here this evening at homecoming. As our alumni are exiting the field, our varsity cheerleaders prepare for their presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your varsity cheerleaders. Come on, let's hear it for your Rejoice Varsity Cheerleaders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to ask you to turn your attention to the northwest corner of the home bleachers. My left, possibly your right. As we want to introduce our Rejoice High School and Middle School Band who will be playing for us tonight. The Rejoice Band is currently in its 4th year at Rejoice and under the direction of Valerie Goforth. Let's hear it for your Rejoice High School and Middle School Band.
Welcome back to Rejoice Christian Eagles football. As the Rejoice Christian Eagles, kind of a slow start as they put themselves in a hole with a. I mean, we had them dead to rights, Mark, but down there deep into their territory, obviously, down around the. I mean, we would have gotten the ball at least the 35.
Started off with a fantastic defensive series.
Absolutely.
Fantastic defensive series, except for the roughing the kicker.
Roughing kicker, and then fumbling.
And then fumbling.
You know,
back to back,
on
and that instantly turned into 6 points against us.
Well, but we lead 20-14, and if you look at just the line scores, you know, Rejoice only has 148 yards in the first half.
That's incredible.
Salina has 187, and 150 of those were in the first
quarter.
They had that little dump play, and they're just
the end around, or the popped it out to the outside that one time, and a couple of passes in the flats. And then they had the one pass that I still have no idea how the kid caught the ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But so they had like 3 big plays.
Yeah.
And Rejoice just never could get things really clicking. And then they would kind of get it going, and then we'd have something happen. We had some really weird calls. The pass that came back that Solo appeared to everybody up here had caught.
Yeah.
Came back.
Which there are a lot of plays that I'm going to look forward to watching on the replay, on the YouTube replay, because he caught the ball and then went 5 yards.
That's the way I saw it. I mean, I know my eyes are getting kind of bad, but
I can't imagine him juggling that for 5 yards.
He closed it up and made a turn.
I mean, he did. And then you look down at Coach Marley, and he's on the field with his hands up in the air, like going.
I think he was questioning it too.
Yeah, how was that an incomplete pass? So, and on the defensive side, I mean, but Solomon did. Solo.
He redeemed himself.
He redeemed himself. 83-yard kickoff return, and so beautiful job. I mean, if he gets in the crease, if he gets in the slot, and he gets behind you, you might as well just go head back towards your sideline because you're not going to catch him.
And you know, honestly, I think that 83-yard return had a lasting effect on the rest of what they were doing on special teams. Because honestly, I think the bad snap and the punter mishandling the ball had actually turned into another 6 points for Rejoice. Probably had something to do with that because the punter's look up, he knows Solo's back there to return that kick.
Right.
I think that's really what kind of took some of his attention away and really caused that bad snap that Rejoice was able to capitalize on.
Yeah, only had to go like 22 yards for the touchdown, and good job by Solo. He had a good catch on that particular drive, and then you had Wilson rolling out to the right, able to easily get into the end zone. On the defensive side, you have Stockton Ryan with 9 tackles, Dalton Close with 6, and Logan Linnell with 5. And they're just doing a really good job, for the most part, just giving them nothing in the middle.
In the middle, for sure. And, you know, I mean, it was Caleb, too, is like popping in there. He may not have actually had the tackles, but he's the one that set the tackles up in a lot of cases because he would come in and stop that play and bounce and cause the runner to have to bounce to the outside just a little bit, and all of his buddies there to clean it up, which is what has to happen. But I thought defense played really well, except for a couple little issues, and then again those big plays. But man, big plays are going to happen sometimes. But I think Rejoice made some adjustments, and they kind of shut it down a whole lot more, obviously, in that second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got freshmen showing up. I mean, we've called Cooper Auschwitz's name a bunch of times, Kale Marley's name a bunch of times. You had in the middle of that line, you had who was it? Dalton Close. We've called Dalton Close's name a bunch of times. Those are all, you know, he's had 6 tackles. Those are all freshmen. So, you know, like we've said before, I mean, we start about 4 or 5 seniors, but as far as in skill positions, you know, we've got 1 senior in a skill position, and everybody else is coming back. So this is still a team that's building, but it's still a very talented team, even with their young talent, especially with some of those guys, again, that we just named. They just really play like they're seasoned veterans.
They do, and you know, we talked about this a lot last year. Last year a lot of these guys had an opportunity to get in there and play a lot more than they would have had. Last year's team had more seniors on it. Then a lot of these guys wouldn't have had the opportunity to get in and play last year and really kind of turn into a seasoned unit that they're able to really portray this year. So I think the lumps that they took last year are paying off now.
So I wonder what Coach Marley. Obviously, you've got all right. The first half is over with.
It turned out good.
And it turned out good. Homecoming is done. I mean, as far as the pageantry and everything. So now your mind should be fully set on football. I really look for this team to I mean, and they really did. I mean, they finally had some drives, but again, you only go 148 yards.
They
on total
normally get that
offense.
in like 2 series or something.
Yeah,
it seems like.
exactly.
But yeah, it's been a strange game as far as that goes.
But Salina's done a good job of, the man. Whenever Chance throws that thing and finds his receiver, he just about has to thread the needle each time because they're not wide open. It's not like he's got the guy just running free. However, there were a couple of times, and you called out. You said, "Boy, he had him wide open. If he could just have," but a lot of that has to do with time. If he's got time to check off his receivers, but Salina's doing a good job of getting.
They're
pressure.
getting a lot of penetration. They really are. I think I'm more impressed with Salina from a defensive standpoint than I am from an offensive standpoint by far. I think they've got some guys that are laying some big hits on, but they're stopping. They get a lot of penetration. They're really kind of messing up the running game quite a bit.
Well, so what do you do? What does Coach Marley? I mean, what's the game plan coming out in the second half on offense against that defense? I mean, as far as the alignments that they're giving them.
I think we got to get outside of the tackles and we got to have some quick hitting plays. I think again, if you watch as Chance is rolling out and coming out in a bootleg out of the backfield, he's seeing some guys that are open in the flats. They're opening up some holes across the middle as well. I think it looks to me like Salina, once Chance starts to roll out of that, get out from behind the tackles, they're breaking down. They're coming after him for good reason. He's running the ball really well too. But every time they do that, it opens up some folks downfield. Of course, when that's happened a couple times, we've had some linemen get on down the field, so we get some illegal linemen downfield.
Right.
So you got to watch out for that. But I think if we can avoid that, we're going to see some more openings down the middle.
Well, and that's what Chance has to realize as a scrambling quarterback, that if he goes past the point to where he's just dropping back and now he's got to scramble to try to make something happen, those offensive linemen have got to realize I've got a scrambling quarterback. I can't go down the field and block until I know the ball is past me. And so, they can go downfield for like 2-3 yards. They just can't go more than 5 yards. And that's happened a couple of times. But again, it's hard to do for these guys because they want to open some holes for, because Chance also tucks it and runs.
Yes.
And so they've got to be ready for that. And they, because they can't look behind him to see what's he doing. They're just kind of gambling, and then they pretty much have to have a feel for, all right, he's coming my way, and then get downfield and block. But you're right. You have to take care of the downfield, illegal man downfield or ineligible man downfield. So, but as it is, like I say, getting ready, we've got a minute before these guys get finished warming up. The other thing we've got to do on the defensive side, I think, again, we talked about it earlier, I think if we can just shut down 10 and 15, Johnson and Wilkins, Burns, they've handed off to him a couple times, like you said, number 3 on their side, Braden Williams. Other than those 4 guys,
there's not a lot of trickery. I mean, you know where it's going to go.
Pretty straightforward.
You know pretty much where it's going to go.
And it's usually between the tackles. When they try to run, it's usually up in between the tackles. Then they'll try to, if it's clogged up, then Wilkins
will bounce outside,
out.
and they do have some speed to them. And that's, we've had a couple of failures there where we've allowed them to bounce outside. But I think just keep on playing. The other good thing is, Rejoice is going to start off with the ball this time.
With the ball, absolutely.
So, start this half off. I think we stick another score on there, and I think we're probably going to put them into at the way they play soft offense. They're going to have to start trying some things.
Right. It's going to take them out of their game plan, and that's
Exactly.
what you want to do as a team. If you can force the other team out of their game plan, you're going to force them into hopefully some errors. And just like we had again, took his eye off of the snap, because it wasn't really real high. It was just out to his left a little bit.
Just a little bit, and he was obviously looking somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Goes through his hands, and Rejoice able to take advantage of it to put on that last touchdown. So I was a little disappointed, because we were going to go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point game. And, we called timeout. And out of a timeout.
Just need to call timeout about 1 second earlier.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just if you're going to call that, you had timeouts left, so use it a little earlier. So. But you're right, Mark.
That's all right.
As you mentioned, Rejoice will receive the second half kickoff. And we'll just see what we can do here. We'll see. And I know Coach has got some trick play up his sleeve. And
He's already tried one tonight.
Yeah, well, and one of them that you may see is because his son, Cale, he was quarterback for his 8th grade team. And
That's what I heard.
And he can toss the ball. So don't be surprised if on a little – maybe an in sweep, he's got him in motion and then throws back to Wilson. I'd love to see that. That's in their playbook.
Hey,
that'd be a good play, because Wilson is hard to catch if he gets behind you.
absolutely, absolutely. Hey, you know something else, Bill? We didn't really talk about, but before the game tonight, for the first time, I got to see the inside of Gibbs
Oh
Fieldhouse.
my goodness, that's right.
That was amazing.
Well, you even compared it because your son took a recruiting trip over to Arkansas and to
was
compare
very
this to the
Fayetteville,
University of Arkansas
Fayetteville, yeah.
is a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, exactly, and it's very comparable. I mean, it's amazing, folks. If you haven't seen it, it is amazing.
So Cale Marley and well, they're going to be short, and he picks it up right there.
That's a good job,
Looks
though.
like I thought he had his knee down, but they're not going to call him down. So I didn't see who picked that. Was that Carricker that picked that up? Kendrick?
Or 4.
It could be Camden Ryan.
Whoever
So-
it was, they need to come up there and get that a little quicker. That is a live ball.
Yep. So the Eagles will start out the second half on the first drive of the second half at their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10 there. Wilson back in the gun. Joined back there, I believe that's Barnett back there. No, Chase Jenkins is back there with him. You got trips out here to the right. And single wide out to the left. Wilson back to pass, looking, going to hit him down
He's
on the
open.
left side. Oh, just
Oh.
out of the reach of Jay Miller. as
Normally
he-
Jay comes up with those. I mean, he got both hands on it, but he did have to extend for it.
And Wilson, nice job there because he threw it where only Jay could have come down with it. He was covered well there.
He was covered very well, and just just right off his fingertips.
So that ball falls to the ground. We have an official's timeout. He's pointing at somebody on his team, not sure what
We got
they're
all
talking
kinds
about.
of people walking around everywhere.
We'll have them. Not sure what it was. We'll see what the official says. I know he's mic'd, but nothing does. So we're just going to start the second down here. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 33-yard line. Wilson in the gun, empty backfield. You got quads out here to the right. And single wide out to the left.
They
So it
don't
looks
have
like
enough-
we're
they don't
going
have enough folks to cover over here.
No, they sure
got-
don't.
They
So
got all kinds.
somebody's going to be open, and not enough time to that play. And that's the problem is that interior line for the defense on Salina just not given chance enough time to set up and make a play.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they're penetrating. They're shooting the gaps. They got, like I said, they're sending at least one linebacker about every play. So we're having to, our offensive linemen are having to keep their head up and really pay attention to what's going on. And unfortunately,
that particular play though, Mark, was set up for a screen out here. I mean,
there was all kinds of opportunity there because there was only 2 defenders on this entire side of the field.
Wilson in the gun. You've got Solo in motion. Wilson back to pass, looking to his right, floating to his right. Got a man open there, and there's a catch. That time he comes up with it, and that is number 11, Josh Hendricks. Sophomore, 6 foot, 160. He's got a Duralast roofing specialist. 1st down for the Rejoice Eagles all the way inside Salina territory to the 42-yard line.
Great catch, and then to look down and see where his feet were and be able to make the turn and get up the field for another 8 or 10 yards was great.
Wilson, he fakes the handoff, pulls it back, time to he's going to be open. He's at the 30, makes a move. He's at the 35, 25, 20, down to the 15, and finally brought down there.
10.
But not before he gets down to the 10-yard line of the Wildcats. 9-yard line, they'll say. And that's a Duralast roofing specialist. 1st down inside the red zone. Sponsored by Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group. Going quickly. Well, he's going to get his signal out here. Wilson, nice run that time, Mark. I thought he was going to be brought down way back to 30, able to break the tackle.
I tell you, he's deceptively
9.
fast. Deceptively fast.
In the gun, twins out to the left, single wide out here to the right. Hendricks, he's back to pass. Looks over to his right. He's got a man open. Oh, great job that time by the defender.
Yep, 'cause he
good
was
timing
beat.
because it was in his hands.
He just knocked it out of. Who was that? It was on the
Josh,
reception. Was it?
Josh Hendricks. It was in his hands, but just a great job by number 33 for the Wildcats. Gavin Montgomery breaking up the play. So Wilson will set up again. 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Wilson in the gun, joined back there by Josh Jenkins. Single wide out to the left. Morton in motion.
Oh,
Bob's
ball on the ground again. Oh, no.
And actually, they're going to say it was a shovel pass. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
The old Utah pass, because they never got it, and it was actually space. It wasn't a fumble, so incomplete pass. Fortunate there for the Eagles, as they now are set up third down and go from the 9-yard line.
That's okay. That's a whole lot better than turning the ball over.
Yeah, because I thought, I didn't even think about it being a shovel pass.
Yeah, from our angle, it looked like a handoff.
Yeah, but it was definitely tossed forward as he was going across in motion. So Wilson set up in the gun, got twins to the left, single wide out over here on the right as Josh Jenkins sets up. And Hendricks takes the handoff. He's at the 5. He is into the end zone for a Rejoice Eagles touchdown. That's an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown on a 9-yard run by Jace Jenkins, sophomore, to run the score now to 26-14 to give the Eagles a little bit of breathing room with 10:04 remaining here in the third quarter.
Bill, that's just what we talked about. It's exactly what they need to do. Come out, take the ball, go down and score, and I think set the tone for the second half right there.
So it looks like we will go for 2 again. 26-14 is your score. They're going to try to make it a 2-touchdown and 2 extra point lead. Trips out here to the right. They're going from the left hash mark. Wilson rolling to his right. He's looking.
Yep.
Touch. Extra point is good. So the Eagles able to convert the 2-point conversion to run the score to 28-14 on the opening drive here in the second half.
Yeah, Colton Abel, once again, Colton was open, but he had a couple of guys open. That particular play, they've had people open, multiple people open on every time.
So 10:04 remaining. So quickly they go down. That's not even a 2-minute drive, Mark. So that's a quick drive by the Eagles. A little bit different than when Salina drives.
For sure. Eagles fans, make sure to stop by Billy Sims Barbecue for that pregame tailgate celebration. It's almost barbecue time, isn't it, too, for sure.
It is.
Whether you're gearing up for the big game or just hungry
it's always
for delicious
barbecue time, right?
That's true. For delicious barbecue, be sure to visit our Eagles football sponsor, Billy Sims Barbecue at 12416 East 86th Street North in Owasso.
Keith, too, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso, is a proud supporter of Rejoice Eagles football. Keith is not only a local business owner, he and his wife have a son at Rejoice Schools. Call Keith, too, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso at 928-928-4545 or visit insurewithkeith.com. So, Mark, they did exactly what we said they had to do, and now it's going to put these guys, that should take them out of the game plan as Maverick Price puts a toe into it. It's going to be bounce right at the 6 and taken there by number 3. That is Max Grissom as he takes it out to the 20. He's still going.
Yep.
Finally tackled
Good job.
there about the 22. And who was it coming off? Number 50.
50 or 60? 50.
T.J. Wilson, sophomore.
Yeah, good job. He made
Great
a good
job.
tackle right there because he had a little open room in front of him on that side.
And he had some speed behind him too, or he had some momentum behind him. So the Wildcats will begin just outside their own 20-yard line. We'll call it the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
4 good downs.
Yeah.
4 good downs.
Yeah.
Right here. This is what they need.
So Johnson will start out in the shotgun, joined back there by Wilkins and number 24 Brown.
Come up. Good job. Way to come up.
Great pursuit.
Who
Finally
was that?
brought down by number 9, Cooper Oshwitz, but he was finished up at, who is it on the bottom down there? Number 52, Caleb Woods, able to go in, and boy, just a great pursuit by the defense as there was no gain
Who
on
was
the
that
play.
came flying in there? Was that Cale Marley? I mean, he was headhunting when he came through there.
That's not surprising. So once again, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 21 for the Wildcats. Johnson in the gun, joined back there by Burns. Got to account for Wilkins. Back to pass. Johnson's got pressure. He's flushed out of the pocket. And that one just bounces into the turf. And Mark, that's what we did. They're out of their
rhythm right there. That's not a play that they normally want to run.
No. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Yeah, we've not seen him, go out and roll out to really and that you could tell was actually a roll out to throw it.
Yeah,
and not a roll out
he
to
never
run.
looked a different. There was no play fake, and he never looked a different place. He was looking for his number 1 receiver from the snap.
I'm trying to see if I can see Wilkins somewhere. I don't even know if he's on the field.
Him out there.
Unless he's way out on the right. Can't see the numbers.
Johnson in the gun. He's going
Once
back to
again,
pass,
he's
looking to
the
his
same-
right,
now he's having to
looking,
look back.
looking. He's getting pressure, and now he's flushed out of the pocket again. Throws it over the side
Once
and
again.
just falls into the ground.
There's
and
two.
That's not their game, Mark. And so that forces
Very
the
obvious.
punt. 3 and out. Great job, defense. Made the adjustments necessary.
what's that
And we've
flag
got a
about?
flag. I'm not sure what that is.
He's
Maybe unsportsmanlike, or it could be
heard
sideline warning. Nope.
waving it off.
There was a receiver in the area. I see, they were going to call intentional grounding. So 4th down and punting situation for the Wildcats.
Well, there was a receiver still on the field, but
That's true. He may have, by the time the ball bounced out of bounds, he may have been 10 yards from it, but that's fine. We'll let it go. Got Cale Marley and Solo Morton back to receive the punt out of Johnson.
We're setting up for a return here.
Johnson. Oh, no, they're
it's
going to
gonna
go. Oh, no, he
Oh.
does kick it. And it gets a roll, actually. And Morton
good
picks it up on the
job.
bounce. He's at the 35, the
there's
30,
nobody
the
in front of him.
25, the 20. Stiff arms, 5. Did he step out of bounds?
They say he stepped out of bounds.
They're saying he stepped out of bounds. Great job, Solo Morton. Picks that
Oh.
ball up at the 45 on the hop. Mark's holding his breath over here.
He took 5 years off my life when he picked that ball up like that.
But he takes it
turned
down.
out fine.
You know where he took it to, don't you? He took it down to the red
Into
zone.
the red zone.
Sponsored by Mortgages Made Easy by James Duggar and the American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group, as the Eagles will set up on the Wildcats. They're going to call it the 11-yard line. No, the 13-yard
13-yard line, yeah.
1st and 10 for the Eagles on the Wildcats' 13-yard line. Wilson in the gun, joined back there by Reed. You got Twins out to the left.
Oh, ball on the ground
ball
again.
on the ground, but he picks it up, able to go to the right. 5 to
get
the
out.
10, and able to get out of bounds about the 6. Oh, boy, Mark, that's a chance. I don't know if I mean, because I think he wanted to hand off before he got the ball, but he was able to make something of it. You make hay out of that, and that's a good job. So drops the ball, picks it up, still gets a gain of, we'll call it 7. So we'll call it 2nd down and 3. We'll call it long 3, short 4 from the 7-yard line. They got to get down to the 3.
Just watch the ball. You got to have the ball before you can do anything else.
Wilson
There
back
you
to
go.
pass, looking to his left.
Two
Now
open,
he's just going to
plenty
go up
open,
the middle. He's just going
and
to
all
take off
kinds
and
of plays.
run. No, he doesn't. And it was in Dalton Close's hands. Thought he had it. I'm not so sure that
He
Chance
could have ran
could have
it
ran
in.
that
He
one
could have
in.
ran it in, and he had 3 people open.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 4 from the 7-yard line of the Wildcats. Going in, Eagles.
It's okay. Take a deep breath right here.
Yep. Don't be so anxious. Don't press. Chance Wilson in the gun, joined back there by Reed. Got a single wide out on the left, and Josh Hendricks. And Morton in motion. Kind of a high snap going to that side to Josh. Oh, Josh not able to pull it in.
That'd been a tough catch.
What do you do here? 4th down and 4, Mark. Do you bring out
I think they're gonna let
Maverick Price?
kick it. I would think, but looks
We'll
like
see
they're
what
not
they
going to bring
do.
him on the field.
Not yet. They're thinking about it. So that's going to bring up a big 4th down. And
There
they
you
are.
go.
They're going to
Yeah.
see if Maverick Price can add 3 points
Yeah,
to the score.
You don't want to let any of this momentum shift back.
Absolutely. Did a great job with a good drive.
Exactly.
Get some points out of
Good
it.
outcome. That's all you got to do.
So Maverick Price will await the snap. And holding is Camden Ryan. Snaps back high, but he's got it down. The kick is up.
Oh,
And
he
he
missed that one.
not got it. It was outside, just outside the left upright. So not able to come out with any points. So that will set up the Wildcats at their own 20-yard line. That's a shame, Mark, because like I say, you want to get down. That's a win for the Wildcats. But again, they're down by 2 touchdowns. They're still not going to be in their normal game plan unless
they're
just
gonna
try
have
to
come
run
out-
it up the middle.
Yeah, they're going to come out, and unless we give them an easy one, they're going to have to come out and get out of their game plan, start throwing the ball around. And they don't look comfortable throwing the ball around.
No. So we'll look at get some of our sponsors. Well, I'm not going to have time this
Yeah,
time.
they looked like they were coming out there.
Yeah,
a
they're
minute ago.
coming out pretty quick.
Yeah, I think they're feeling a little urgency now.
Yep. Can't wait around and hope something happens. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. So we'll see what happens here as Johnson, now he gets out of the gun. No, Johnson in the gun. Now you got 25 in motion. And he just no, that's Wilkins. He
That's
comes right in the
Wilkins,
middle,
yeah.
and that's
Oh,
that
no,
play.
there's
He's
a-
wide
yep.
open. We have somebody that can catch him, or he's going to score. He's down to the 30 and able to run him down.
Got him down. Good. Got him from behind.
Yeah,
but, man.
Josh Hendricks, but not before he scrambles up. And that's the play, Mark. That's their
that
big
easy
play.
one. Yeah, that we did not want to give that one up for sure, because that's the one that they've been coming to all night long, and
That's a
unfortunately just popped it out that time.
57-yard run. So, Mark, they get the moment. If they score here, they get that mo back because they stopped us, kept us from scoring on a short field, and able to come down and score. So the defense has just got to bow their necks right now.
Yep. Well, they haven't scored yet, so we still got an opportunity to get them shut down.
Johnson hands off to Burns, and he bounces off the first guy and bounces off second. Finally brought down. Tough running there. Their big tailback. He's almost 200 pounds. He's a load to try to bring down.
Yeah, what I don't like is they've got some holes opening up, and that's not a good sign.
Brings up about a 2nd and 4.
Coach
for the Wildcats.
Eckel needs to dial something up here to
bring the heat.
Bring the heat on the defense here.
So Johnson back in the gun, joined back there by Burns. And I don't see Wilkins out there, so you got to think they're going to try to just hand off. Well, nope. Hands it off, fakes the throw, and able to push up to about the 15-yard line, just outside the 15-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd down and short, about 3rd down and 1.5, maybe 3rd down and 2, as they set up just outside the 15-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, and of course it's 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt
so
whatsoever. And because field goals three-pointers don't do any good for them, so they're going to have to push it in the end zone to try to keep the game close if you're Salina.
They got 10 back in the backfield, so I'm pretty sure he's going to get the ball here.
Yep, it's going to be a while. It looks like Wilkins is back in as the
snap.
Yep, so just go right to him. You got to just go get him, and they
Good,
do. They stop him short.
Good job.
Oh, and it looks like you got a flag. That's either going to be a hold, but probably a face mask is going to be my guess, coming from the umpire. We'll see what he says. Boy, that'd be a big penalty if it's against Salina. And they're kind of walking backwards. We'll see what they say. We'll get the call here. Illegal formation. That's 5 yards, so didn't have enough
people on.
Didn't have enough men on the line.
Yeah.
So that's a break for the Eagles, as that will set them back 5 yards. Unless we decline it, and that'll make it 4th down. They are going to take it, because you only have 2 yards to go.
The 4th down, it doesn't make any difference. They'd still be going for it. So
that'll set it back at the 20-yard line, so that'll make it 3rd down and 7 now for the Wildcats from the Eagles' 20-yard line. So stiffen up right here, and again, it's going to Wilkins. There's not a whole lot of, they're going to snap it to Wilkins, and then Burns is going to block for him. That's just my guess.
That would be a safe bet, I think.
So Wilkins waiting the snaps, got it. No, he's going back to pass. He's going to see if he's got a man, and he's got a man open, but we're able to tackle him right there. Johnny on the spot is Kendrick Carricker as he tackles the guy for a loss. Tried to get us caught off guard there, thinking, okay, it's going to going to Wilkins, and he throws it out in the flat. But
that's the first time he's thrown the ball tonight.
Yep.
So I'm
4th and 9 now. Big 4th down here, Mark. Can't give up that big play. This will be a big momentum lifter for the Eagles. 4th and 9 for the Wildcats from the Eagles' 22-yard line.
Well, they got everybody in the box, so I don't.
And now you got Johnson back there. He's looking to throw. He's got a little bit of pressure. Got a man open out in the flat. Broken up.
Intercept. Oh, broken up. Good job.
That's better because, either way, we're going to be at the 20-something yard line.
Yeah, we'd have it back out there either way.
The Eagles hold on a 4th and 9, broken up in the end zone. I believe that was Cale Marley back there breaking that up.
That was an excellent throw.
It really was. And I thought it was a touchdown. And then I think it was Cale Marley come flying in.
And just knocked it out. Yeah.
And
I
actually could have intercepted.
I thought he came up with it there for a minute.
So the Eagles will set up 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Wilson back in the gun. You got twins out to the left with Jay Miller far out on the left. Twins here to the right with Josh Hendricks outside here. And in motion is Solo. Hands off to Reed up the middle.
No.
And actually Chance kept it.
Kept it, yep.
Faked me out. I thought he handed it to Reed. Able to pick up maybe one. Maybe a yard, so 2nd and 9.
Another one of those statement series by the defense.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
just like I said, they did not score on that, the excellent rundown from behind on Wilkins, and then setting up and stopping them.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was amazing.
2nd and 9 for the Eagles on their own 23-yard line. Wilson back in the gun, joined back there by Reed. He's going to float off to his left. He's
There, he's
floating out there.
open.
He's looking for somebody.
Okay, just not enough
Has to
time.
make a move, see if he can make something happen. He's going to take it on his own, and he's
Just get
able
out
to
of bounds.
get up to about the – I'm not sure why they're winding the clock because he went out of bounds. So, but they are winding the clock. And he's out at about the 27-yard line. We'll let it. I mean, the clock's our friend
Whatever,
right
yeah,
now.
it is.
So about 3rd and 5. We'll call it 3rd and 5, long 6, or long 5, short 6 for the Eagles. Looks like they've got that quad set up out here to the right.
Let's see if Salina fields this any differently.
And, Mark, this has just got to be a quick hitter because they have such good penetration up the middle. Wilson in an empty gun, empty backfield, looks over to his right, looking for somebody over the middle and just into the ground. That was just, he never had a chance on that one.
Well, he had to try and thread the needle there because through between those linebackers, and probably should have let that one develop just a little bit longer if he could have. But
so that brings up a 3rd and long, or 3rd and 6 for the Eagles, and they got the 4th and 6. They got the punt team in. But not so sure. We're going to have to get some more guys on the field if we're going to punt because we don't have enough out there.
17
timeout.
seconds. Yep.
We will take a timeout and get some of these sponsors in here.
The team at Durlast Roofing Specialists in Owasso are proud supporters of Rejoice Schools and Rejoice Football. Zach Harbaugh and his team have a proven record of excellence on and off the roof. They use the highest quality roofing materials and do everything correctly the first time. Need a high-quality roof? Then call the local professionals in Owasso, Durlast Roofing. Call or text Zach at Durlast Roofing Specialist at 918-906-7600.
State Farm Insurance and agent Casey Miller are proud Rejoice Eagles supporters for the surprisingly great rates on auto, home, life, or even your pet. Visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in the Waterford Suites between Home Depot and Walgreens in Owasso. Eagles fans, make sure to stop by Billy Sims Barbecue for that pregame tailgate celebration. Whether you're gearing up for the big game or just hungry for delicious barbecue, be sure to visit our Eagles football sponsor, Billy Sims Barbecue, at 12416 East 86th Street North, right here in Owasso.
Well, this is we need to get a good punt here. We need to get them back down the field and then ask the defense to step up one more time.
So we'll see what's going on here. We got, Chance Wilson still, they don't have their punt team on.
They do not.
4th and 6.
Wow.
They're probably going to see if we get him to jump, I'm guessing, but they're going for it,
Even
looks
if they
like. Now he backs
yeah,
up.
he's going to be the
Does,
no.
See if he can get loose or
Find
just kick
somebody.
it. Yep, he's going to have to just try to see how much he can get out of it.
It'll be close.
We'll see what he does. He may
Depends
have got
where
the first
yeah,
down, Mark.
depends, I was going to say, it depends where they're marked here.
He may have got the first down. No, they're going to call him out short. Looks like it's going to be a turnover on downs. Boy, bad snap. And again, Mark, mistakes. We haven't played a game of error-free ball yet this year. You'd sure like to see them, I don't know that you can ever play a complete error-free ball, but putting a ball on the ground like that, even though that wasn't a fumble, it's a turnover on downs because you're not able to pick up the line to gain.
Exactly.
And it gives Salina the ball deep in your territory.
Exactly,
So,
and ask your defense to, once again, really do the amazing.
So the Wildcats will take over at the Eagles' 29-yard line. You got Wilkins in the gun. You know what he's going to do. So do
who
we.
is that?
And we've got him right down on the ground for a loss. Tackle for a loss. Number 52, Caleb Woods, coming firing across the line there. Tackle for a loss for Caleb Woods. Loss of 2. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 12.
That's how you stop that stuff.
The down marker guy needs to not watch the game so much.
Exactly,
and
actually move it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
loss of 2.
Yeah.
Now he's
There
bringing
you
up.
go.
He's
Oh,
watching,
that's me.
He's watching
That's
the
me.
ball game. It's easy to do, folks.
That's my
believe
part.
me.
That's my part.
2nd and 12, back at the 31-yard line. After that loss of 2, good job,
Get
Caleb
some pressure.
Woods.
Get some
this
pressure.
time
Get
Johnson
some
back in the
pressure.
gun, looking. He's just going to toss it down this side.
Not
Got
a
Solo
chance.
Morton over there,
Yeah,
and he
got
makes
it.
the
He's got it.
reception. And it is intercepted in the. Let's see if he calls him out at the 1.
Oh, he was
at
in
the
the
2.
end zone. He had to be in the
Well,
end
his
zone.
momentum carried him in the end zone, so it should be a touchback. We're going to see what they call it, because if your momentum carries you in, I know on kickoffs it's a touchback. We'll see. We'll see what they call it. It's our ball either way.
Either way, but they're really going to mark him down short. And
2-yard line. He caught it at the 2. I guess he's not saying his reception.
He was on a full sprint.
Right.
Full sprint into the end zone.
Yeah, I don't agree with that call, but you know what? That just means we've got to go 98 yards for a touchdown.
I guess.
3:22 remaining here in your third quarter. Yeah, when your momentum takes you into the end zone, then
that's a touchback.
That's a touchback. I mean, before he could even slow down, he was in the end zone. So Wilson out of his own end zone, joined back there by Hendricks in the shotgun, hands it off to him, and he's able to get up. Great job. As he's able to get out of the shadow a little bit. I believe that was either Hendricks or Barnett. We'll see. Barnett's the big runner. That is Barnett, number 25. Isaac Barnett able to take it all the way out to the 8-yard line, pick up a 6. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Eagles on their own 8-yard line.
That was a good-looking play.
That really was. He's a hard runner. He's bigger.
Is a hard runner.
He's our biggest back. And he just runs hard when he gets it. Wilson has it, hands it
again,
off again to him. Same
Look
play,
at
he's
that.
up, got some room.
Oh.
And he's smacked down, but not before he picks up a Duralast roofing specialist. First down for the Rejoice Eagles. That takes it all the way out to the 18-yard line. So great job and great running by Isaac Barnett with some tough running and a big hit. Been able
collision.
Hold that onto that ball on that tackle.
Absolutely.
So Wilson back in the gun, still joined back there by Barnett. He's got twins out to the left, single right out here to the right.
Blitz.
And he's rolling off to the left. He's just going to take
it
it and
up.
roll. He's at the 20. He's at the 20. Now there's going to be trouble.
Not
he's
a
at the
chance.
40.
Not a
he's at
chance.
the 50. He's at the 40, 35, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Rejoice Eagles. Chance Wilson on a 82-yard or 82-yard gallop as he goes all the way from his 18-yard line into the end zone for an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown for the Rejoice Eagles. That's how you do it, folks.
That's how you do it. And he's just so fast. He just walked away from everybody through there.
Yeah, by the way, folks, I think he's placed on the 100-meter team in track. So,
it makes
like
sense.
you said before,
Makes
he's
sense.
deceitfully fast as Maverick Price waits to hold after Camden Ryan. The boot is up, and it is good. So with 2:16 remaining in the third quarter, the lead is widened to 35-14. Your Eagles over Salina. And Mark, that is always a dangerous play that we've got in our back pocket and that was just
He's
a
a
design
weapon.
run.
I mean,
it was just a design run. He's going to take off and go.
And once he gets 2 or 3 steps away from everybody, then there's
Did you
nobody
see the
to catch
separation?
him. He just walked away from
Yeah,
him.
by the time he's in the end zone, the closest defender is probably 20 yards from him.
Absolutely. And by the way, he did pass through the red zone on the way. So.
Yeah, he did pass. He touched it. It was there for a
2 or 3 steps.
Maybe a second, maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3 steps, and then he was through the red zone. So.
Great job, great run by Chance Wilson. 82 yards on that long run by Chance. So Maverick Price will wait to kick off. Deep is number 10. That'll be Wilkins. It looks like number 22, Trayton Bailey. Price approaches the ball, kicks it deep.
Yeah,
that one probably isn't going to be run out, and it's not, as that goes into the end zone for a touchback. And so the Wildcats will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Man, that's one of the you got. If you're the coach for Salina, how do you defend against that? Whenever you've got receivers out there that can catch the ball they got stick them all over the hands. They catch the ball. You got runners that
can run.
They can run. And then when you got a quarterback that you don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to throw it or he's going to keep it and run, and he can do either one very effectively.
Yeah, as he just showed. You know, if you shut down our passing play, we can run. So the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20, and going from south to north.
That's a very odd setup here.
Johnson
missing some people.
There you go. Yeah, missing the tailback. So Johnson back in the gun. No, that's Wilkins.
Wilkins, yeah, it's proven that he will throw it.
And he's going to run, though. No surprise. And right there, met at the line. Good job, the interior part of that defensive line and not letting him go anywhere. Who is it coming out of the bottom? That's Kendry Carricker on the bottom of that. Oh, looks like you got, thinking we got a cramp going on.
Yep.
So
Flex that one out. At Owasso Coffee Company, it's all about bold flavors, fresh baked breads, and handcrafted drinks. Owasso Coffee Company is your local gathering place in Owasso for coffee, food, and great conversation. OCC has a drive-through too. Owasso Coffee Company is a proud supporter of Rejoice Schools and its athletic department.
And they are, by the way, our sponsor for the Coaches Show every Thursday night right here on this YouTube channel. From 7, we run about 7 to 7:30. It's a good time. We invite any of you folks that are listening, if you're Rejoice Eagles fans, we want a big crowd this Thursday night as we'll talk to Coach Marley. We're not sure who his special guest is going to be, but he usually brings somebody. It's a lot of fun. Get in on the action. We'll even take questions, as Casey Carricker sent one in last week, Pastor Carricker, but we'd love to have you guys down there. They would love to have you down there. They're down there serving drinks and eats and everything. They're open until we get done with the Coaches Show. So when you get off work, just come by down there, or when you get done with supper, come and have a cup of coffee at the Owasso Coffee Company.
Those young ladies are hanging out down there with us. They'd love to have something to do.
They would baristas.
The
baristas
true.
are hanging out.
Keep in mind, it's a new element for
That's
me.
right.
So yeah.
Well, because you're not a coffee drinker.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I just
hey,
never
but it
picked
is
up.
hot chocolate time.
Yeah, hot chocolate, and there's plenty of other stuff besides coffee down
apple
there too.
cider. I've heard they got hot apple cider.
Ooh, we're gonna have
and
to do
the pumpkin
that.
Spice.
We got to do
so
the hot.
Johnson.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think just a little bit too much hands
handsy.
that
Yeah,
time
too
by
handsy.
Solo. So that pass was intended, I think, for number 22.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't think that one was catchable
Trayton
anyway.
Bailey. No, yeah, it was way out in front of him, but nevertheless
Yeah.
in the area. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. So that will set them up 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line after that penalty. But again, well, I'm not sure.
That's a long penalty.
Oh, no, I guess he got 1 yard on the run. Yeah, so it's
that's right. Yeah,
1st
okay.
and 10. That's right.
I forgot about the other play.
So that'll bring it 1st and 10. Looks like they're out almost to the 37-yard line. You've got both Wilkins and Johnson in the backfield. One of those two are going to get it, or they're going to hand off to Burns. We'll see what happens. So Johnson has it, hands off to Wilkins. He's going around his right side, and we're there to meet him, but he finds a little bit of hole.
Good. Who is that? Is that Cale Marley?
It is.
It looks
Cale
like,
Marley.
Looked like one of his tackles.
Looks like, yep. I'm telling you, because he's formed tackler, folks. He gets low and wraps him up, just like he's taught.
I promise you, Mr. Wilkins outweighs him by a lot.
Yes, absolutely. Cale Marley comes in at 150, and Wilkins, their big tailback, number 10, he is 5'10", 175. I think he's bigger than 175.
Yeah, maybe that was like 2 years ago or something. Yeah,
there's a different size, but 5'10". So Johnson back in the gun, joined back there by Burns. Follows Burns out to the right, just running it, and the defense out there to close it down. Able to pick up about 2 or 3, and that's what they're.
That's what they do.
Yeah, 3 or 4 yards at a time out there. Stockton Ryan on the tackles.
We're gonna see the same thing probably here.
Yep.
2 more times.
Yep. 3rd down. We'll call
4?
it. Yep. 3rd and 4 from the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. They're on their side of the field. 25 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles leading 35-14. As they have taken control of this ball game after early in the 2nd half. So, almost drops it, but he's got it. We got pressure, and he's throwing it away.
That one away.
I don't see anybody in the area. I'm not sure who he's throwing it to.
I think he was outside the tackles, though, right? So.
Yeah, that's true. He's outside the tackles. Let's see.
Still threw the
intentional
flag.
grounding.
They threw the flag.
And lost it down. So
man, that's a tough penalty there. But
yeah, I knew there was nobody in the area, but you're right. He was outside the tackles. I mean, I don't know. Is that a high school rule?
I don't know anymore.
That's
true. That's true.
Yeah, it's all different.
That's true.
And that's probably what Wilkins is saying, because he was definitely way outside the tackles was Johnson. But hey, we'll take it. That's intentional grounding. Lost it down. That sets them all the way back to the 29-yard line. So 4th and forever. We'll call it 4th and 20.
Yeah. I thought we were having an earthquake anyway, but I guess it's just, there's a big crowd here on the Rejoice side.
Yeah, and they were rumbling the feet.
They were rumbling this place.
Rattling this aluminum bleachers. So back for the punt, if it is going to be a punt, is Solo Morton and Cale Marley almost blocked, takes a bounce, and goes through the legs. He never touched it.
Well, I hope he never touched it.
We'll see. Yeah. And 1st and 10, it is. He agrees with Cale.
Good.
I don't know if Cale just sold it with his hands going
not
up in
me.
the air. I
Not
didn't
me.
touch it. Wasn't me. If it changed direction, wasn't me. How Cale knows there. You got his hands on his head. He knows he shouldn't have been even close to that ball.
Yeah, exactly. That could have been disastrous.
Yep. So, but as it is, the Eagles will take it over. That is the end of the 3rd quarter with the Eagles 35 and the Salina Wildcats 14. And Mark, I think here, I don't even know. I mean, you're up by 3 touchdowns. I think you just see if you get your ground game going and see if you can run out that clock.
Well, you do, but that's just. I don't think that's in
Coach Marley's
DNA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think
we've tried to guess that too many times.
Too many times, and he's proven us wrong so many times, and proven himself as an effective coach. So
yep.
I'd be willing to bet they're going to stick with their same game plan and just continue to play. That's just my guess.
Hats off to the defense. You've almost got to get.
Oh, it's just been incredible.
I mean, we were down 13-14 in the first half, early in the second quarter, and they have just stiffened up and kept these guys from scoring. They've shut them out in the second half of the second half, second part of the second quarter, and then the entire 3rd quarter, and given their offense the ball.
They just still gave that one big play up, but you know what? They still didn't score. They stiffened up and stopped them.
That's right.
So, they did give away that one big play again. There's been a lot of those big plays tonight. The difference is they stopped them.
And that's a sign of a good defense. I mean,
Absolutely.
just to be able to hold this team to 14, I mean, this team scored 12, and they've scored the only team that's held them this low is Inola, a 3A team. Everybody else, they've scored, 36 points.
40 points? Yeah.
So, I mean, this team can score. So, the Eagles will begin the 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. You need to get the clock set, though. Clock still showing. There you go. There's 12 minutes. So Twins out to the right. Single wide out here, and Jay Miller to the left. Back in the gun is Wilson. Well, he waits the snap. A little high of the snap. He's looking back, And he's just got to run out of trouble. And he gets out of the grasp of the first guy and able to get out of bounds after a pickup of about 2. They'll say he stepped out about the 30. And I'll tell you, Mark, I'm not sure what that place, whatever that is, they seem to have it read, the defense, because
there's nobody
he is
open.
not able to get open.
And
they didn't have time.
It's almost like it's setting up for a screen.
Right.
I mean, those guys are coming through so quickly, but there's nobody there to throw a screen to. So
2nd and 9 for the Eagles. Twins to the left, or out here to the left, single wide out to the right. And that is Cale Marley in motion. And he gets the handoff, and he makes a cut, gets up to the 30.
Got some room.
Nice job by
First down.
Cale Marley as he's able to pick up 10 and get the first down. That's the Duralast roofing specialist. First down for the Rejoice Eagles out to their own 39-yard line. Great cut right there, Mark, at about the 35 to be able to come about the 30. Makes one cut up there, pick up another 6
he
or 7
definitely showed
yards.
some offensive chops on that one. I mean, we're always commenting on his tackling for him, but that was an excellent cut.
So Wilson back in the gun, joined back there by Jace Jenkins. Twins here to the left, single wide to the right. He hands off to Jenkins. Jenkins met immediately. Tough running there, yeah. Tough sledding there as he'll lose a yard. They say it didn't quite make it back to the line of scrimmage. 11:25 remaining in your ball game with the Eagles leading 35-14. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 11.
I don't think anybody's told Salina that they're beat yet.
No, they're still playing hard. They're absolutely playing hard. That defense is coming after them, and they're going to come after him, it looks like. Well, so Wilson looking at that saying, Coach, we got another call. That one looks like they were going to be all over me. Jace Jenkins joins him back in the backfield. Twins here to the left. He's looking over to his right. Now he's looking over the middle. Got a man a little high,
a little high.
As he had Colton Abel open. He was open right across the middle, but that one was just a little high. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the Eagles. I tell you what, I am impressed with the linebackers and the D-backs for Salina. We just haven't had easy openings. Now that one he was pretty wide open, just misfired. But for most of the night, Chance has had to make good throws.
He's had to make good throws. I mean, we've had a few of them where he's had some open guys that could hit, but it's because he had a whole bunch of people in his face.
So Wilson in the gun, Twins out here to the left. He's going to float out here to his left, looking for a man. He's going to have to switch back, try to get some blocks. He's got a lot of room to run, but he's going to throw it. He cuts it loose. Got a man open, and it's caught by Josh Hendricks.
Josh Hendricks, yeah.
Out there for a long toss and catch for a Duralast Roofing Specialist first down, and that was just kind of like a jailbreak type play.
Josh had no part in that play until the chance scrambled to the other side of the field, and he just made some separation, got open.
And that's about a 30-yard toss and catch, 35 yards. It's all the way down to the Wildcats' 25-yard line. Wilson got him again. As he said, you know what? You did that so good the first time. I'm going to let you get 6 on this one. And that's a Rejoice Eagles touchdown. Wilson to Hendricks. And that is sponsored by Owasso Coffee Company. And put 6 more on the board for the Eagles as they now lead 41-14 pending the extra point.
And it was just a perfect throw.
Perfect timing.
Perfect throw. And it was just, that was Rejoice Eagles football right there.
Price awaiting the snap, down by Ryan. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's good.
I think that would have been good from the 50-yard line.
So Eagles, they now run the score to 45-14 with 10:38. That drive looked like an Eagles football drive.
That was amazing. It was a great job on everybody's account. Chance getting open, keeping his head about him, making a good throw. Didn't do anything crazy with it, just made a good throw. And 2 good throws.
Yeah, the second one, they had to scramble on the first one to Josh.
But the second was just on a right, like I say, in a box. Yeah. Dropped it in a box out there.
So Josh Hendricks, in just a matter of seconds, has at least 65 yards on the night receiving.
Yeah, and a touchdown.
And a touchdown.
Yeah.
So the Rejoice Eagles, they'll take over. They'll kick off to the Wildcats from the south to the north. So again, with Bigfoot Maverick Price, with that cannon of a leg, you got to think that this one's going to go out of the end zone with that wind behind the back.
Well, he's kicked about 4 of them out tonight so far. It's going to be a little short.
It's going to be a little, but the wind's going to say, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, just got over.
So
Tell you what, Wilkins he gives up on that early.
He does.
Because it was just barely through.
Yeah, it's only about a foot into the end zone.
Well, Keith Chu is your hometown insurance agency in Owasso, and he's a proud supporter of Rejoice Eagles football. Keith is not only a local business owner, he and his wife have a son at Rejoice Eagles. They're probably here tonight.
I'm guessing they are.
Call Keith Chu, your hometown insurance agency in Owasso at 918-928-4545 or visit insurewithkeith.com.
So the Wildcats will begin this series at their own 20-yard line. 10:37 remaining in your ball game. Eagles comfortably in the lead now after they have shut out the Wildcats after their first 14 points. Handoff this time to the first man through. It looks like Burns. He is a load to bring down.
He is a load, isn't he?
Brought down finally there. Several guys. Looks like number 59 and number 7 in on the tackle. That's Sammy Armentrout, senior Sammy Armentrout. Stockton Ryan, another senior, in on that tackle. A gain of about 6. So 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats from their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, I think he just fell forward for 3 of that.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, he's a load.
He's a load.
So he hands it off to him again, and he said, well, I got 6 first time. They see if I can get more.
Got 2 of them back.
So no gain there, as they'll call it down back at just no gain right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 4. And again, I think they're just content to let that clock roll.
Yeah, I think they may have, the white flag may actually be out.
So 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats at their own, just inside their own 26-yard line. Johnson back in the gun, looking back to throw, looking back, and he's just going to chunk it long down here on the right side. Yes. Overthrows everybody. Good coverage there that time by Jace Jenkins on the intended receiver, number 22, Trayton Bailey. That'll bring up 4th down and 4. And you just got to wonder, knowing that this high-potent offense, this high-octane offense, do you just give them 20 6 yards to score, or are you going to make them score from deep? We'll see what they do. You've got John. He has done the punting duties.
Yeah, Wilkins is not in.
And he's back, but he's not very deep, so he's just going to have to quick kick if he's going to do it. They're going to look over the sideline. Johnson, yeah, he's backing up a little more now. Johnson back up to punt.
And do his little Aussie-style kick.
It looks like Cale Marley back to receive
That's
the punt.
his best punt of the night, actually.
Yep, and
get away.
Yep. It is dead down at the 48-yard line, so about we'll call it a 10, 20, about a 23-yard punt for the. So now, the Eagles, Mark, got 9:08 left in the ball game. I think now you just get your ground game going and
burn the clock. Yeah, and you put plenty of points up on the board. They're not going to come back and get you.
No. So
don't get anybody hurt.
Yeah, that's the key. We've got our full allotment of players with only Bryce Rivard out nursing a hamstring. You don't want to get anybody else on that injured reserve list. Wilson back in the gun. You got trips out here to the left where you got some good receivers and good speed on here on the left side with Morton and Miller. Wilson in the gun, joined back there by Reed. Got the snap, hands off to Reed. Reed's got a couple up the middle as he's able to get on the Wildcat side of the 50-yard line. Moves into Wildcat territory.
That's okay.
At the 49-yard line, that's right. Right now, the clock is one of your best weapons.
Exactly.
As it continues to tick down. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles at the Wildcat 49-yard line. Once again, Wilson will be in the gun, joined back there by Reed. You got Morton and Jay Miller out here on the left side. Jace Jenkins, Josh Hendricks out on the right. In motion was Armentrout. Just hands it off to Reed. He's got a little Reed. Good cut.
Good job.
Cut, go north and south. He may not be caught. He's down to 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Eagles, as they go 49 yards, or at least Drevin Reed goes 49 yards
on one massive cut.
Yeah, great cut right here
and
at the 45-yard line, and he was gone as he goes the distance for an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown, and the Eagles are blowing this thing wide open now.
Yeah, I'm not so
48-14.
disappointed. I'm not so disappointed about not getting the 2 points earlier. So
yeah,
I think it's all right.
We'll blow it off as Maverick Price boots it through to increase that lead to 49-14 with 8:21. And now, Mark, I think when you said you thought maybe the white flag was up,
I think it's officially up.
I think they've got a sheet over there now because it's just, again, with this defense, and that's not taking anything away from Salina. They're still playing hard, but this defense for the Eagles is just playing lights out after those first 2 scores and just have pinned their ears back. I can't wait to go back and watch the film to see how many times they were on the wrong side of the 20-yard line or the 30-yard line on our side of the field
and stopped them. Rejoice stopped them. You don't think Coach Eckel made some changes at halftime?
I think there were some adjustments.
I think there were some changes that went in there, and it certainly paid off. Again, they had that one breakaway play.
Right.
But
well, they shut down that little floater that goes out to the flat.
That was their go-to. Yeah, exactly.
And we put, I think what we did is he got guys with speed and said, you got to cover 10 when he comes out in the flat. Because that was their only real weapon as Maverick Price waits to kick off at 40, and he puts a toe into it. This one's going to bounce low. We'll see what happens. They got to have to pick it up.
That.
Picks it up about the 9-yard line, goes over to his left.
He's going the wrong way.
That is Trayton Bailey, and the Eagles are able to track him down. And I'm not sure.
Got a flag from 50 yards upfield here.
Well, I'm not sure what this flag is.
He's going to throw it closer.
And I'm not sure, Mark, he was all the way out here to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, he was literally standing at the 50-yard line when he started throwing that flag.
We'll see what he calls.
Aren't there other guys that's supposed to call that?
Well, there's 3 more guys that are closer than him.
That's just kind of what I was thinking. But.
So they'll say blindside block. That's okay.
Yeah. What?
We'll wait for judgment until.
Sure
actually, he called it. Oh yeah, against the return team, but still, Mark, he's out here at the 50-yard line, and you've got 3 guys that are just right there on the ball. I just don't. I'm not sure that you can actually see exactly what happens, but he calls a blindside block against the Wildcats. That moves them all the way back, half distance to the goal, moves them all the way back to the 9-yard or the 4-yard line.
He obviously had a better angle on it than we did. So
I'm guessing so. But that's you don't normally see somebody from this far back throwing a flag into the play.
It was impressive distance he got on that flag, though.
Yeah. Boy, good hard running. Oh, there's trouble.
No, what happened there?
As I'm not sure is that Wilkins? No.
He ran like Wilkins, but I don't think it is.
We just poor job of tackling that time at the line, as we had him right at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to break a tackle.
Yeah, that's going to get the coach.
And that is Wilkins, as he's
Was
finally.
it Wilkins? Yeah, he ran like him, but.
Yeah, and he's finally taken out of bounds. I didn't see. I think it was Cale Marley over there shoving him out of bounds, tracking him down, but not before they're able to move into Eagle territory. And, if you're the Eagles, take pride in your defense.
Yeah, no matter what the score is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was just, there's no reason, that for right there.
Don't start arm tackling now, exactly.
So Johnson back in the gun. He takes the handoff, get to the first guy. There you go. That's a little better, as the interior of that line able to take down number 25, Zach Props. And there was a slew of Eagles.
There was a bunch of them. They were flying to the ball there.
The center of that line, the linebackers came in that time. Loss of about 2. Call it 2nd and 12 now for the Wildcats on the Eagles' 49-yard line. And the biggest thing right now is to keep that clock running, as this at 7:30 remaining in your ball game. Johnson back in the gun, joined back there by Props. Got trips out here to the right, and he rolls to the right. He's looking for somebody. Pressure given on by the Eagles, throwing over the middle. He's got his man wide open, and he couldn't catch it. Right in his hands, right in the gut.
He heard footsteps.
And just dropped that time because, and that was number
34.
33.
Peyton Cole.
Well, yeah, 33. Peyton Cole in on the coverage, but Gavin Montgomery had it wide open for an easy first down and a lot of yards.
But he heard Peyton coming.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Wildcats at the Eagles' 49-yard line. 9-11 with the clock stop on that incompletion. You got Johnson in the gun. Twins out to the left, single wide out here to the right. He's back to throw. Looking and looking. Got a man down that side. And that time it's intercepted by the Rejoice Eagles. Mr. Cale Marley goes up and pulls it down, and we're going the other way, folks, as he intercepts that on the 19-yard line.
Playing center field out there that time.
And was able to make the catch. Good job on the defense. And again, we just talked about it, as we got to call a timeout here by the sideline official. I guess Salina taking a timeout. 7:05, and Mark, that's exactly what you have to do on a team like Salina that is successful running the ball, is get a lead on them, get them out, and boy, I mean,
they start throwing the ball around like that. Yeah, exactly. I can kind of understand why we're not selling out and really pressing for any sacks on the quarterback, because they do run the ball so effectively.
Right.
You can't send a lot of blitzers, but when they're throwing it downfield, they're making a lot of mistakes. They're making a lot of assumptions that their guys are going to get to the ball. And Rejoice just has too much speed in the secondary.
And then just like that toss there, that's almost like, we had 2 guys covering 1 guy out there.
Well, he just said, "Here, come get it. Come get it." Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be the guy that comes down with it. But Cale Marley said, "Not if I'm in your area." As the Eagles leading 49-14 with 7:05 remaining in the ball game. And again, we think we know what's going on, and actually, it looks like we're going to have a different quarterback for the Eagles. Chance Wilson's not in at quarterback. We've got Camden Ryan in at quarterback for the Eagles. So at a 49-14, I like this, Mark.
I like it for sure.
Chance can't get hurt, and you get another guy a chance to play the run. Hands it off to the first guy. He's got a lot of room, and that's number 25, Isaac Barnett. And really, that's all you got to do, Mark. You don't have to do anything fancy.
No.
Because you're going to run the ball anyway, as that is a...
Did you know Isaac was that fast?
Durlast Roofing special first down. he's got some deceitful speed.
I mean, I know he runs hard. I saw him run hard. I didn't realize he had that burst of speed in there. That was really good.
It's about a 20-yard run for Barnett. Again, you've got Camden Ryan in at quarterback, hands off to Cale Marley, and he's out around the right side, makes one stop, then cuts, stop and go, looking again. He's still going. He's not giving up yet. It's 50. He's at the 45. It looks like he's going to try to get to the 40, to the 35, makes a cut to the 30, to 25, makes a cut at the 20, all the way down to the 13-yard line. Oh, my gosh, Mark. It looked like he was going to be tackled for about a 5-yard gain. Then he looked like he was going to be tackled for about a 15-yard gain. Makes moves and moves. Looks like we're going to have a flag. We'll see what they call.
Yeah, there's probably got to be a hold in there somewhere. Yeah.
We'll see where they called it. Wow, what a shame, because that is an absolute, probably the prettiest run we've seen all year so far, especially when you're juking and jiving and making these players miss. Wow, they called that hold all the way at the 45-yard line, and it was back to the 45 of the Eagles.
Well,
they call it a first down. That shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Because it wasn't a dead ball.
I don't get that.
No, that's a wrong call. That should not have been a first down. It should be whatever first or third down. But nevertheless, we'll take it and hand off again to Barnett, and he's going again. He's a tough runner. Finally brought down at the 47-yard line. Let's say he went down at the 47, 8-yard gain.
Yeah, called 8-yard. Man, he was running hard.
Golly, he runs hard. You're not going to arm tackle that boy. You're going to have to pull him down. Isaac Barnett is a 5'11", 180-pound freshman, so he's a pretty big boy to bring down. Freshman. and you got a sophomore out there handing the ball, and this time it's handed off to number 10. That's Blake Witten.
No, he didn't. His quarterback kept it.
Oh, quarterback kept it, pulled it, and then faked the handoff to Blake Witten. And he's able to pick up the first down. That's a Duralast roofing specialist. First down for the Rejoice Eagles at the Salina 40-yard line. I love seeing these guys that don't go. Look at all the freshmen on the field, Mark.
They're getting reps.
You got Cooper Auschwitz out here wide out. You got Isaac Barnett as a freshman at your fullback position. You got Cale Marley out in your slot. 34 in motion. That's Peyton Cole. Tossing it.
Oh, he's wide open.
He's wide open, and that's going to be a touchdown, Cale Marley from Camden Ryan for a 42-yard or 40-yard touchdown toss for the Eagles for an Owasso Coffee Company touchdown. And Mark, you say, well, what are you doing throwing it when you're up, 49 to 14?
Practice too.
But these are freshmen out there and sophomores out that don't ever get to play this game and able to toss that one for 40 yards. Cale Marley into the end zone.
Wow, that was a great play.
And a great pass. What a great touch by Ryan, Camden Ryan. Maverick Price with the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. And so, man, this is, we were talking about it going to be a dogfight. The Eagles must have hurt us.
It was early.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, we thought it was going to be the last team to score is going to win the game.
Oh yeah, that was true.
We scored and scored again as we lead now. The Eagles lead 56-14 on an absolutely beautiful toss and catch by Camden Ryan to Cale Marley.
Hey, Cale Marley, I think.
He's got speed.
He's got speed. He's definitely got speed. But I mean, that young man, he ran a quarter marathon in that last series right there.
You got to give him a chance to do it again.
A breather.
Yeah. Great job there as this one is blown wide open, 56-14. Certainly not what I expected. I thought it was going to be especially the way you started out, a little rough. Got the jitters out of the way and said, all right, we're going to play Eagle football. And my goodness. Have they come out and make a statement in this second half?
Absolutely.
I think they're tired of the Tulsa World not putting them in the 2A rankings. And I think they're trying to convince them that, guys, we need to be in your top 10.
We're legit.
We are legit. Maverick Price waiting to boot it here to kick off after that exciting toss and catch from Ryan. And that one goes into the end zone with that win. Oh, there's some action going on over here on the left side.
Yeah, well, it's getting a little froggy.
Yeah, little cheap shots there, and that's fine. Because Josh Jenkins got about 3 guys on him, so I think they thought, okay, or Jace Jenkins, we're going to pick on this guy. But he said, that's all right. Look at the scoreboard and see who picked on who. So the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And if you're the head coach from Salina, you're pretty much Coach Justin Brown. I just got a feeling everything's going to be on the ground here to see if we can hurry up, and if they can hurry up and get out of here.
That's what I would be doing if I was in his position.
4:49 remaining in your ball game, folks, on this big blowout victory by, almost too high, and he does hand off the first guy. And there are more Eagles in the backfield than there are Wildcats.
I think he's got some backup players in there as well. It's number 12 quarterback, isn't it?
Yep, I believe you're right. Number 72, Tommy Mulkey, sophomore, in on that tackle. You got number 87 out there. We've got some new guys. Caleb Marley, another Marley. Caleb, I think that's Cale's twin brother. Caleb Marley, if I'm not mistaken, freshman. You got number 60 out there. Get these guys in there. Jet McCain, freshman. All these big boys on the line. You got number 82 out there. Trevor Gage, sophomore. Number 7, Sammy Armentrout, freshman. No, he's a senior.
He's a
got the
senior,
senior out there. So we got a lot of guys out there,
Got
too.
somebody out there terrible where to go.
Got Isaac Barnett playing middle linebacker. Hands off to the first man, and the line just out there to pull him down as he falls forward. The entire line that time in on that tackle. Daniel Zadora also in for the Eagles. Got number 4, Camden Ryan in at middle linebacker.
Is it Cole Curtis out here? Is that 83? On the end here?
Can't see.
I think it's an 83, Cole Curtis.
We got guys going in wanting to get their number 80, Devin Skastis. That was one I was hoping we didn't have to pronounce.
Because we weren't sure for sure.
So we apologize if we butchered your name. I believe we'll just call him Devin. Devin S. I believe it's Skatis, and it looks like there was a delayed game. So maybe offsides, too anxious on the Eagles as they'll pick up 5 yards via the penalty. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 5. And 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line, and he hands off to the first guy, and he is tackled there again by the right side of that defensive line and the right side linebackers. Number 8 is out there, Hunter Hensley, sophomore, and that'll bring up 4th and long.
Noah Schnockenberg.
Yep, Kristen Kent, freshman, into the ball game. And make sure that uncles, aunts, grandmas, grandpas, sisters, brothers get to hear their brothers' names called out there. Number 40, Karsten Losey. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Losey. Another freshman, as they will punt this ball away, let that clock go down as far as it can. We don't have anybody. Now we're floating somebody back.
They better snap it.
He does. He gets the kick away. That's a good kick. And caught in the air that time, and he drops it.
He's got it.
But he's got it back
You're
up.
down. You just stay there. You're all right.
A little excitement there. That's another freshman out there, 6'2", 150, Devin Skastis. But he's able to pick up the ball, and so the Eagles, you never know with Coach Marley, but you're thinking the Eagles are going to just take the ball and just run it up the middle is my guess, as I don't believe there's a starter in the ball game, as now you'll have Cale Marley back in the gun for the Eagles.
Camden Ryan's still in there.
Yeah, going to have to hurry up and get it away as there's only 5 seconds.
Well, we're probably going to take a penalty here.
Probably going to take a timeout. And it is a
Took penalty.
delay game.
They need more
So
room
that'll
to work
set
with.
back. Yeah, exactly. Well, after seeing that Ryan to Ryan to Marley toss and catch, pitch and catch, yeah. So Marley now at quarterback for the Eagles. Barking out, trying to get him. He's going to hand off to Barnett. Barnett's around the right-hand side. Got a lot of room over there. And it looks like he may go, folks, as he's down to the 25, makes a move, and able to get an ankle tackle, but not before he picks up about 35 yards. He goes from the are there any flags?
I don't see any. And I'm not sure whether it was tackled so much as it was just tired.
And it looks like there was a flag. We'll see what they call it. Holding against the Eagles.
Where was the flag? Oh, it's clear up here. That's why.
So it looks like it was at the 50, so they'll mark it off 10 yards back from the 50, back to the 40. Hey, but you know what? You're getting the experience of these guys.
Getting snaps, getting the reps.
Trying to learn how to block without being caught holding.
Exactly. That's it's only foul if they throw the flag.
That's right. So that'll bring up a first down, and we'll call it about 17 now for the Eagles at their own 40-yard line. Clock running, 1:40 remaining in your ball game. Marley back in the gun, hands off again to Barnett. Barnett able to get up
Bulldog
about
down
4
that time.
Yeah, that's exactly what the tackle was. That's about how you've got to bring him down. You're not going to arm tackle him. A gain of about 3. We'll call it second down and 14 for the Eagles on their own 44-yard line, 43-yard line. Yeah, you just, like I say, I love seeing all these new numbers. Big number 72 in there, Logan Linnell, senior, still in there playing hard. In motion is Camden Ryan.
Actually,
he's got the toss, got him
he's
out
got-
there. He's at the 50, and they finally take
He's
him
got-
down. Pickup of about 6, getting down to get just shy of the 50. They'll call him down at the 49-yard line, so that'll bring up a third down and about 8.
Actually, that's 72, not 77.
Oh,
Logan,
72.
Yeah, 72, and
Tommy
that's
Mulkey.
Tommy Mulkey.
Sophomore. 6'5", 285 pounds.
I was gonna say, well, that's why we didn't
Run
thought it was
behind him.
Logan. We thought it was Logan.
Yeah.
'Cause
But I think
they're big.
Tommy's the biggest
he's
guy
bigger.
on the team.
He's bigger, yeah.
I think he's our biggest guy on the team. Boy, you look out there and he towers above everybody.
He's big.
He is. So it looks like we're going to go to the victory formation maybe. 13 seconds, the snaps back and the knees down, and that's going to be your ball game, folks, as the Eagles have won this ball game 56-14 after trailing twice. Well, actually just trailing the whole first half. They were trailed 7-6.
Well, it's almost
and
the end
then-
of the first half.
And and then trailed 14-13, and then finally took a lead 20-14. But in the second half, they just absolutely shut down the Wildcats and were able to just blow this one out to where it wasn't even a contest, winning 56-14. So, Mark, how do you turn a game around that effectively, that fast?
Well, it just tells you that how much those few mistakes that they made the first half really hurt. I mean, that's basically what it says. If it hadn't been for those couple of errors, putting the ball on the ground, the knocking the punter down, there's just a couple things here and there. If it hadn't been for that, then I think we would have probably seen this in the first half as well, because they really played pretty well in the first half. Just had those few errors in there.
Yeah, like I say, if we did a offensive guy, I'd give it to the whole defense because they
were amazing. They stood up. They
Yeah.
stood up and just played lights out that second half.
Yeah, and I like I say, I don't know that we can give it to an entire defense. We're going to take about a 2-minute break and discuss our player of the game, and we'll be right back. Well, Mark, like we discussed, there were several guys that were vying for it. You had Josh Hendricks that made 2 beautiful catches.
Great series.
Yeah, and went all the way down and had the touchdown. You had Jay Miller making some fantastic catches. He had to dig the one out of the ground for a touchdown, and then made a couple of great catches along the sideline, which we're used to Jay Miller doing that. And then, you had Cale Marley having a big game again. On the defense, you had Stockton Ryan. There's no telling how many tackles they had because he had 9 in the first half. But, the offense really got to clicking, and the guy that makes that go and actually made a lot out of nothing several times was Chance Wilson.
He really did. You're right. We had a lot of guys that had some excellent plays on the offensive side of the ball. But the common denominator there in almost every one of them was Chance.
Yeah.
And then you throw in those few runs that he had and on his own.
Yeah.
And it was really a good game for him.
Well, and then last week he had a good game last week.
But he had an excellent game last week.
But the turnovers hurt him. In our mind, he took a game that really wasn't close, and that helped him out. He wasn't the only one, but I mean, Chance he had a little problem with the turnovers. Tonight, when they put the ball on the ground, he was able to make something out of it a couple of times. But man, some of those passes, Salina did a really good job of making him pinpoint most of his passes because they had to be on the money almost 80% of the time tonight.
For sure. And, Chance had just an amazing game, a fantastic game. He's going to have a lot more of them too, but he definitely, I think, deserved it for tonight. On the flip side of that, though, the defense was just lights out, second half especially.
Yeah, I'd love to give, I don't know how many stickers they've got down, how many bricks they can give away, but yeah, I'd love to give it to the entire defense because you're right. I mean, after that first 14 points they let up, they said no more, and they just shut it down.
They shut it down. That second half, there was the one long play, but then they stood up, they bowed their back, and they did not let them score on that after that long play. And to me, that was the statement of the game right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. The Eagles come out victors on this night here, this homecoming night here on their home field here in Owasso, 56-14 over the Salina Wildcats. Join us next week for the Brent Marley Coaches Show, or the Rejoice Christian Eagles Coaches Show. And we'll be streaming live right here on this YouTube channel, the Rejoice Athletics TV, on YouTube at 7 o'clock next Thursday evening from the Owasso Coffee Company. Join Mark, myself, and Coach Marley along with special guests as we recap the previous week's game and talk about the upcoming opponent. So if you can, though, we'd really like for you to come down to Owasso Coffee Company. They're going to stay open until we're finished, so come on down. We get started right about 7 o'clock, but you can come down even earlier if you want. Get down there about 6:30, 6:45. We'll be on the air at 7, and we'd love to have some crowd participation.
Come down and talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you down there. It's at 13720 East 86th Street North in Owasso, and they'll stay open late for you guys. So come down and watch it live, grab a hot or cold drink, and it'll be recorded. That show's recorded, and then it's played back during the pregame for the night before the game. So, Mark, any final comments about tonight's game?
Just it was a classic Rejoice Eagles offensive show. I think I was really pleased with the defense. I think this is by far the best I've seen them play.
Yeah.
And
especially after that first quarter and a half.
Those first couple of things, but they stood up and they finished the game off, and especially whenever you had a team that was trying to take that momentum back, and they stepped right in there and took it back from them. They did not allow that to happen.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us tonight for tonight's broadcast as the Eagles come out on top of the score of 56-14 over the Salina Wildcats. The Eagles will be back on the road next week to take on the Comets of Kansas, Oklahoma.
For sure this time.
For sure we're going to Kansas, Oklahoma. Don't head north and go to Kansas, but this week we really are going to play Kansas.
We really are going to play Kansas.
At Kansas, and we'll bring you that game right here on the Rejoice Athletics TV YouTube channel. Next Friday night, pregame will begin about 6:30 with the Coaches Show, with game coverage beginning at 7 o'clock. So once again, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast as much as we enjoy bringing it to you from our wingman, Mark Kirk, and Todd Witten at the controls. I'm Bill Bush. And until next week, good night, God bless, and go Eagles.
Take care, y'all.